Isolation Nation, welcome to the third ever SDSC Mega Monthly Spectacular. Let's hear some noise. Yes, great to be with y'all again. I'm Ben Gleib, and I'm just one leg, but every creature needs at least 4 legs to function, so please welcome the second leg of the 4-legged tripod that makes up the quarantine. It's Steve Hofstetter.
Hello, I'm learning so much about biology already. I had no idea that we all needed 4 legs. I just thought I had some extras. Anyway.
Yeah. No, you do.
Welcome to the show. I held back on the joke. Welcome to the show. Top right of the screen is our Venmo. You could PayPal at sdscshow.com. Of course, Super Chat on the YouTube. Throw in those Facebook stars. We have a hell of a show today. In fact, I've planned a segment that my co-hosts don't even know about. We'll get to that later. So please welcome the third leg of the 4-legged tripod that makes up the quarantine, Mr. Chris Bowers.
Oh, wow.
Hey, what's up, everybody? Hey, guess what? We don't make you buy stamps or anything like that. So if you want to support the show, top left-hand corner, you can Venmo, or you can PayPal at sdscshow.com, or you can also send in those super chats on the YouTube. I'm excited to be here. The Bengals in the AFC Championship game. You guys thought that would never happen, but Queen Rachel's also a Bengals fan. Rach, how you doing? Are we ready?
I'm so good.
Yes. Well, thank Tam Brown for these amazing Bengals jackets that she got to my house on time for the game last week. It was unbelievable. She said, check the mailbox, and there was a Bengals coat for Rachel for the game. It was awesome. So there you go.
Also, and by the way,
you should like it because we're orange, right?
Rachel
Don't you?
Can no longer talk shit about how she doesn't like sports. So.
Well, she likes the Bengals. Okay.
And she can no longer talk shit about ridiculous jackets.
Yeah, that's
it's almost a dress.
It's actually a good point.
Zara would turn that into a dress, by the way. If Zara had it,
I need to have her show me how to turn this.
Well, for a while, she kept talking about how she didn't like sports, but then she also liked the Bengals, and actually that did make sense for many years. But now,
it wasn't really sports for a long time. It's more of a charity thing than sports, Steve. That's really what it's about.
The Bengals were like, neither do we.
Right?
Also, to change that into a dress, do you not just button it up and not put pants on?
Zara actually had it done where she cut the coat into a half coat, and then the skirt from the bottom of my Pac-Man jacket is a separate skirt. It's quite a sight. It's a big deal. At Christmas, my mom, I said to my brother, I said, has my mom shown you when Zara did with the Pac-Man coat? He goes, yes, 11 times. I've seen it. So my mom was a huge fan of it too. But anyway, we had a fun overnight game. Are we doing the overnight game? Sure, let's do the overnight game. We had a fun overnight game. It was I forget what it was. What are alternative uses for pineapples? For other things you can do with a pineapple, right? They're trying to, I think, goad a certain Steph Andrews with this, but maybe not. Deanna Dorman had undersea housing for sponges. Thought that was a solid use for a pineapple. Abby Wright had, please don't give my patients any ideas. I thought that was very funny. But the winner was Gary Husky with My Pillow filling, which if you ever had a My Pillow, that's exactly what it fucking feels like. It's a bunch of pineapples. It's fucking terrible. Do we have a Night King, Rach?
We did not have a Night King game. I was not on the show on Friday, and so I believe it was Night King.
I think we need to start doing a monthly King, and not have it combined on the. You know what I'm saying? So, like at the end of this show, let's do a Night King for the next monthly. How about we do that? Then people have a month.
That would be real confusing to keep track of.
Yeah.
Oh,
I like it.
They could. What about Mega Night King? Is that hard to put in a message? Mega Night King?
That wouldn't be hard.
Yeah.
So
Fortnite
just put
King.
Mega Night King. What?
I said Fortnite King.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
It's
That's
2
funny.
Fortnites, please. We have some amazing guests that are going to be on the show today. We have Dan Ahdoot, who not only hilarious comic but also has a new show on the Food Network, which is so cool. And Josh Wolf, who was, I think, the reason this show got trash talky was the Josh Wolf episode.
Yeah.
It was like one of our first episodes, and we all talked shit to each other, and it was great. And we finally have him back. So really
And
excited.
Dan is also, of course, part of the cast of Cobra Kai.
Yeah. Dan plays Anush on Cobra Kai.
That's right.
Very
So
cool.
yeah, which is great. He's gotten his ass kicked by various Cobra Kai characters. It's really cool.
Wow.
Yeah. And before we say what the game is, so obviously my last year's tour is done, and I don't have a name for this year's tour yet. I have not come up with one yet. So the game today is going to be bad ideas to name my tour. So try to come up with the worst possible name for it. And to keep in theme with the game, I have the actual passes from my last year's tour. These are the 9 artist passes that we used. This was me and Leedy and Brett and Andrew and everybody. So what we're going to be doing, and we also have the guest passes, which are cool. Not quite as cool. My mother.
I wore one of those.
Yeah, Rachel wore one of these. So we have 9 artist passes and 6 guest passes. The first, oh no, sorry. I gotta double check the count.
So I said 18, you said.
What?
So you had 18, you said, I thought.
Yeah, I'll double check the count. But the first X number, I gotta check the number, to tip at least $50 for the show gets one. And the highest 9 tippers all get our artist passes from my tour. So
And you'll
that's what we're
sign.
doing.
You'll sign her.
And
On top of that, as you may know, I just filmed my second ever hour stand-up special in Philly over the weekend. Many of you came out. Thank you all for rolling out. It was an absolute blast. 2 of the best shows of my life. It was so much fun. The late show Friday and the early show Thursday. And so I will also be throwing in for the top tipper today one of the 2 nights set lists from my
Holy
second
shit.
ever hour
Fuck
special
yeah.
right there.
Hold on, can I read some of those?
And by the way, not only is this a set list, guys, this is also an ADD diagnosis. So if you take that to your psychiatrist and you show that to them, they will give you Adderall. Because
It's
they'll
like
be
a
like,
Rorschach
you
test.
Right
clearly
there.
have ADD.
And
Like-
it's dated and it's signed and
yeah.
and on the
he's-
back, it's his shopping list as well.
you know what's funny? I just realized the back has a bunch of my notes as I was preparing for the call, and as Bowers and I were on the phone for hours working on what should go in there and his ideas and some that I integrated. So I will make sure there's nothing terribly offensive on that. You'll get that too. That's on the back side.
That is awesome.
But
And
what I was saying is,
also,
I was-
I'm gonna before I forget, I'm gonna sign these as well. So I just showed you the back to show where I'm gonna sign. But yeah,
Bowers,
these are gonna come
Bowers,
sign.
what were
I
you gonna
double
say?
checked it. It is 16 total, 9 artists, 7 guests.
Perfect. I was saying that when Ben and I went and saw the show a couple times, and Ben and I talked through it a bunch of times. And at one point, he like sent me what he just showed you, and was like, "Well, here's my set list. Can you just like critique each joke?" And I'm like, "I don't know what any of this means. I love you, but I don't know what jokes these single words correspond to." And most comics do that. We have this weird kind of, you don't put the punchline in the thing, so it's just like locker room story. And you know what that is, but I don't know what that is.
Yeah, a set list for a comic. I mean, I joked about how it's got like a shopping list on the back, but a set list for a comic looks like the world's weirdest shopping list.
Oh, yeah. I usually write it on envelopes, business reply mail cards from magazines. It's on random shit usually, but I tried to get a little fancier for this special and be a little more easy to write. So for the second place tipper today, I will give you my set list from the Improv Lab from Monday, the show that Rachel and Bowers were both at. Bowers hosted it, and I've never had better handwriting in my life. I even had to cut out something and redo part and tape it on. You'll get all of that, but look how legible that is. This is legit. You can read it. So signed and dated as well. So that's for second place.
That's awesome. And does it come with coffee stains on it? Or
Uh,
I just
There
wanted to
coffee
make you
stains
look
on
at
it?
it. It's
Oh my God, there's
I'm
no
just
coffee
fucking
stains
with
on
you.
it. And I will also throw in for the number 1 tipper today, a vintage lady.
okay.
The OG vintage ladies, and for first and second place, you'll get some extra stuff too. Some extra
we're
Gleib
starting the fucking
memorabilia.
new year off right. This is big.
Yeah, we are.
Yeah, we're already, and just so everybody knows, we're already like 6 or 4, like 5 or 6 passes down. So
Wow.
I think they will go by the time halfway through the show. But we'll see.
Excellent. Yeah, you can tell which one is Rivers because it smells like pot. So
And so the game today,
We already said
you
that.
know,
Yeah, we said-
I
so
don't,
the
I don't think
game
we gave
today-
examples. Like
Yeah,
Bowers'
yeah,
example was bring out your head.
Bring out your head. But that was my name for Steve's sex tape. That wasn't the name of it. But-
So funny.
so try to come up with the worst possible name for a tour for me. Like I mean you can be over the top like the fuck you I hate you tour. Or actually that one's pretty good. I might write that down. Anyway, come up with the worst possible tour names, and the way you play the game is you can comment on any of our feeds, but if you want yours to count toward the prize at the end of the show, as well as having a much better chance of being read on air, what you do is you comment with a tip, at least $5 of a super chat, a Venmo, or a PayPal, And as always, if you are in our video front row, you get up to 2 entries for free.
The Steve Statler tour.
Yeah. Steve Hofstetter. I'm only doing part of the year. They're like.
And on that note, we are doing the full video front row. So VFR, turn your cameras on, join the party. Let's bring this thing. We went literally downtown to Chinatown on night 2 of this trip, by the way. And I've always wanted to go downtown and Chinatown with all of you. And we did it.
That's a lot of
ate.
people.
It was a lot of people. It was a wild night, Rachel. It was a wild night. And it was
missed it.
super, super fun. What a good looking group we got here. And let's start it with Front Row Steve Loves Lady Val.
Oh, the new year Patreon shirt. Thank you, Steve.
Nice, nice.
Very nice. Loves it. And we got Phoebe Mendez joining us in the house.
Love the new
Hello,
hair, Phoebe. Looks
Phoebes.
good.
Very cool hair. Look at that.
Oh my God.
Very nice. And we are joined by Philip and Alejandra in the house.
Woo.
Loves it. Good to see you guys.
Never
And
not seen
we
Philip
are
not eating.
joined-
This is crazy. Is he on a diet? Is
I
Philip on
know,
a
it is
diet? What's
crazy.
going on there? Oh, here it comes.
And we're joined by Debs, the lettuce summoner herself. Good to see you, Debs. Love the makeup and color coordinated cards to the hair, to the lipstick and eyeshadow. Well done. Well done. And we are joined by one of our favorites here in the VFR, leaning a little to the right. It's Cass Civils, everybody.
Oh my God, you said it right.
Hey, wow.
Holy shit! What's
Hey, that Adderall's working, man. Nice job.
Whole bit just prep for your special. Now that you've filmed it, you just don't need to do the bit anymore.
Yeah, that's all it was. That's all it was.
I honestly don't know what you guys. I've been saying that the whole time. I don't know what you guys are talking about. And we're joined by another one of our favorites, Lanky Danky's here.
My God, the virus has moved.
Lanky, thanks for being with us. Great to have you, straight from Germany. And we are joined by Brad Clark and the Brad Clark 5, everybody. Do.
Nice brain.
And we're joined with the Isolation Nation finest threads available on planet Earth. It's Anna Hood, everybody. And she
Hey, hooday, baby. Woo.
is Dave Adler, everybody. National Lampoon's
Now,
Bengals.
I'm assuming Adler has a tote of every single NFL team with a hat and a jersey and everything else. I think you've got all of them, I'm sure, somewhere.
Nope,
We're
Bengals only.
special.
Oh, nice. All right. Well,
He
No,
likes us. He really, really likes us.
It comes free with the Sports Illustrated subscription. You get the sneaker phone also.
Yeah. No, they wouldn't give Bengals hats or no one would subscribe. You got to have something that like is an encouragement. You know what I mean?
I always wanted that sneaker phone. It was the closest I figured I'd ever get to becoming Maxwell Smart.
That's true. You missed it by that much, man.
That's correct. That's correct. We are joined live from an artisanal coffee house somewhere in the Western Hemisphere. It's Frank Berman.
What's up, Frankie B?
How's my sound by the way? Is there like any background noise?
It sounds great.
Oh, good. Okay.
You're
I mean, I can't hear 4 people writing their screenplay, but
Yep.
aside from that,
And a little bit of glare coming off of that lamppost, but I don't know if you could talk to the city for me.
Not my jurisdiction, man.
Fair enough. And we're joined by the good doctor live with us. It's Abibie Abby Wright. Hello, Abibs. And we're joined live from Yorkshire Pudding, England. It's Bex. Great to have you, Bex. And keeping SDSC weird with her gear, it's Shannon Burke, a.k.a. Shannon Burke. Great to have you, Shannon. And we're joined from not so much an angle, but more of a chiaroscuro framing. It's Frank Notaro.
Chiaroscuro framing.
Fresh from Philly. Great to see you, bud, yet again. And fresh from Philly, Dana Z. Bunster. Hungry for some ancient nipples, Ben? The real
There
reason
it
Ben went to Philly.
is. Nice.
That is Timothy Brown looking at some nipples in a museum in Philadelphia. The only place you can find nipples in Philadelphia.
There's no nipples in Chinatown when you went down to Chinatown, Ben? No nipples? That's weird.
Lots of nipples in Chinatown.
Oh, there was nipples in Chinatown. That was in Philly. It counted as part of Philly.
Oh, gotcha.
It was a great amount of nipples. And we are joined now live from Australia, Steph and Ruse.
Wow, everybody's got different backgrounds today. Let's just woke up there. Steph, just wake up.
Yes, I'm at my nan's, so this is not my bedroom. So
Oh, you don't have a cross that hangs over your bed while you fuck? I didn't think you would. Okay.
no, I'm too scared to touch it. I'll burn if I touch it, so that's
Yeah.
not mine.
That would be crazy if there was a cross burned into the back of your hand right now.
Oh, that'd be amazing.
Steph, I'm Jewish and I own a church, so I think you'll be fine.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, just stay away from my nan, Steve.
Oh, jeez.
Stay away from my nan, Steve. Should be a shirt. I don't know if we should do that as a shirt.
By the way, it is a reference to something from Ask Us Everything, but it also just worked out of context too. It was also
I need to explain it. It's fine. Also, a sheep named Lady now. Don't need to explain that either.
yeah.
No.
I don't know what you guys are talking about, but I do know I'm Jewish and I've been to a church's chicken, and I gotta tell you, it's pretty tasty. Pretty tasty. We are joined by the Yokester himself, Patrick Yoakley, everybody. Yoakley.
Patrick's starting his March Madness bracket early.
Yes, he is. A very unique way to approach
No,
it.
that's a Klingon Star Trek bracket. It's not about basketball. There's some sort of something in there.
And speaking of brackets, somebody who doesn't have any brackets in frame, joining us from Australia, it's Zara Bending, everybody.
Hey, bracketless Zara. What's up?
What's up, Zara?
Zara.
I don't know. There's some random dudes coming to Australia to tour next month, which is pretty cool.
Daniel Muggleton, what?
Daniel
I know,
Muggleton
right?
at the comedy
I
store.
don't know
So
East
famous.
Australia dates. I don't know.
Well, you know,
Interesting.
we'll all be
Are
there
you
someday.
going to Australia?
Mine? Not this year.
Oh, okay. Well, I guess Zara, you might be confused.
Okay.
Yeah, I think Taylor's doing Australia photog tour is what he's doing. He's gonna go
That
take
makes
pictures of
sense
wallabies
now.
and shit. That's what he's
Whoop,
doing.
whoop.
And we are joined from down under the frame by Jojo Josepha Snyder, everybody. Good to see you, Jojo. And color coordinated with the Swerdlow herself. It's Wendy Swerdlow.
I know that's just the angle, but I love that like the coat just is the whole frame. Like that's that just looks like the warmest coat that ever did happen. That is incredible.
It is. It really is.
Well,
It looks
I hope your
nice.
coat's warmer than your internet is good. That's what I hope.
I expected there to be a mic.
I got to look up my Wendy. That's never happened.
Oh.
I expected there to be a microphone tucked in your jacket that you pull out to speak. That would have been a nice touch.
By the way, that wasn't a middle finger. That's just called a North Dakota turn signal. So,
Oh, there you go. There you go. I didn't know you
Very
needed
nice.
turn signals in North Dakota since there's only 4 cars. I figured you just call it before you got to
no,
the intersection.
it's Bowers. It's once you get to the intersection.
Oh, gotcha. If 2 of you show up at the same time, that's how you figure it out.
Exactly. It's there. There is the intersection is in Fargo on your way out.
And speaking of Fargo, unrelated to that, the Loose is loose. Megan Loose is here, everybody. Good to have you, Loose. And we are also joined here in the Viffer by Sean Headbandless Ehrlich. He does have a forehead. The rumors are not true. Great to see your whole head there, Sean.
Yeah, we've been enjoying that for a couple months. It's nice.
Really? Whoa.
Yeah.
Wow.
The headband was just for you.
Yeah, that's what he said.
Thank you. I appreciate that. Times
Look
are
at
really
that. Like the first show you were on, I'm like, where's that? He's like, I just wore that for Ben for the joke, and now he's not on the show. I don't need to have that joke anymore. I was like, oh, beautiful.
Fair enough, fair enough. And we're joined by Anna Dory. Anna's not wearing a headband either, so I guess
Anyone for some candy or gum?
That's another AUE thing.
I disagree. I think that's a life thing, and I'm in.
I promise, Ben, you don't want
Oh
to
my
be.
god. Damn your eyes.
Tab your eyes
Holy
under the
shit,
green
you're
screen. Oh my
teasing.
god, that is so weird.
Someone wearing a tam mask? What's happening?
Put your eyes by the nipples.
My God, straight from Philly, where apparently I stole her soul as she was attending my special recording. Timothy Brown, everybody.
I mean, it just. I don't
Oh
know
my
what's
God!
There
Yeah,
it
green-
is.
it's
that's
just
what's
gone
going on.
crazy, so-
Are your eyes that green?
Yeah,
Wow. I didn't know you had green eyes, like green screen green eyes. Wow, that's amazing.
yeah, it's picking up my eyes as green screen, and I couldn't fix it, so I said, "Fuck it." I'm gonna
Yeah,
do it.
yeah.
Everybody knows
Sure.
I'm evil anyway.
Love it.
Love it. Love it.
Love it. And we are joined by downtown Lindsey Brown. No shelf to speak of. Also the co-mayor of Madtown right now. Great to see you, Linz. Well done. Drunk with power. You can tell she just knocked all the shelves off her walls.
Yeah.
Very intense the way you do that. And speaking of someone who's drunk with power, once you bring a force of nature into this world, nothing can stop you. It's Ann Herman, everybody.
Hi, mom's fan.
What's up, Ann?
Oh,
Span?
that's as close as she's gotten to be a fan of me. Is that right there? There we go.
Powers, it's your fan.
I know, right?
I'm just going to
That
wait
thing
there
all the
until
time.
something
I think
happens
she's
with her.
eating dinner or something. We should probably move on. There we go.
And last but not least, drawing all the festivities today, also fresh from Philly, where she crushed it per usual, Lady Corbin. It's dudes, everybody.
What up, Philly was so much fun. I got to play pool with a bunch of cool people. Played it with Tam and Kayla. We had a good time.
It was a blast. A blast. I like how you skipped right over the show, but that's fine.
Philly was
Wait,
awesome.
Lee.
After the terrible shows, we got to play pool, and I had a Coke, and I swam in a pool. It was neat.
Leedy, you told me all about the trip. You didn't tell me you went to a show.
If I'm being honest, the show, I was so nervous for the show that it was a blur. Like, I was just really stressed because I've never drawn a show live that wasn't Steve's or the show in Indy. So I was just like, what do I do? What is this like? I don't know. You don't
Sure.
have red hair and everything's wrong.
Didn't Ben give you a set list so you know exactly what was coming up? Oh wait, that would have done you any good.
In fact, what happened was Ben sent me a video and he was like, you should prepare. You should know the jokes. And then he cut like all of them.
Yeah. That is true.
It's the most Ben thing I've ever heard. Yes, so I agree. That's like the first point at the he did the whole thing, and I'm like, he's like, but I'm not using any of that. That was just stuff I was just kind of seeing if there's any of that I liked. That's not my hour. But I'm like, okay, cool, man. I'm glad you.
Yes. And you can also tell Leedy's level of experience traveling by herself. She texted me after the thing and she was like, this hotel's trying to scam me. They're putting a $75 charge on my credit card. They say they're going to hold it. And then she's like, never mind. Britt told me all hotels on planet Earth do that. Proceeded as usual.
75 seems low, to be honest.
Even after touring for 3 months in hotels in and out, Steve has done all the bookings. So I just have no idea about any of that. I was like, what is this bullshit charge? You better remove that
I still
hotel.
booked this room for you, but they still do a hold. Maybe they use
Yes,
Steve's
yeah.
card.
Well,
for the
yeah,
hold.
because
you arrive in a bus.
I would always just check everybody in
Yeah.
at once.
Right.
So yeah.
Leedy
Oh,
came home
boy.
a different day, but that was impossible.
I had
It
no
was really
idea.
It was really fun. She's learning about the world, and I think
Yeah.
that's beautiful.
Originally, I was going to take the train, and I've yet to do that. I have yet to travel out of a city by myself, really, other than like, flying this or that to be picked up by someone else. So I was like really excited. I was like, okay, I'm going to do this. I'm not even going to consider the possibility of being chaperoned by my boyfriend. And then he goes, do you want to ride? And I was like,
But then out of New York, they had these fucking bullshit roads that charged you money. I'm like, you're not getting my money. You're not scamming me, road. Roads are free, motherfucker.
Be like a toll. What is this? A fable? There's no tolls. There's no trolls on the bridge.
the idea of a
Tome. It's
toll
pronounced
is
tome.
ridiculous to me. I didn't know that was real until that part about it in your set, actually. I mean, because
like a toll on the road. Well, yeah, that's because New Mexico doesn't fix their roads.
what are roads? I don't even know that. What's a road?
It's like where we're going, we don't need roads. We're like, oh, the future? No, New Mexico.
Not gonna go anywhere, so we don't need roads to get anywhere. We're just gonna stay where we live.
No, we're going to the past, actually.
I was getting kind of homesick about New Mexico the other day, and then I looked up the news in New Mexico, and I found out there was a man with a machete running around my neighborhood, and I was like, never mind. I'm fine.
I saw the video of you crying at Call of Duty when you saw a New Mexico sign.
Yeah, that was great.
That's funny.
Thank you very much.
Also, at our pre-Chinatown post party, we were there, and then Leedy says, I'm here, they won't let me in. The doorman says he won't let me in. And I said, Leedy, there's no doorman here. She goes, there's another bar with the same name. I'm like, no, there's not. And she eventually sees my head sticking out the window. She comes in, and just the guy told her that was the name of the bar. So the ways of the big city have not soaked in yet, but you'll get there.
No, I was so confused because first of all, Google Maps was like, this is the bar, this is the goat. And I was like, okay, I'll go there. I opened the door and the dude is like, let me see your ID. And I'm like, I can't, I'm underage. And then he kicks me out.
Well, wow, you really sold it, at least. I mean, at least you like tried to bluff. Sorry, I can't, I'm underage, my bad. I shouldn't be here. I'm not.
I like the idea
that
the sorry I can't started to be the bluff. She's like, sorry, I can't. Be like, why? Because I don't have one and I'm underage.
I don't have fingers with which to hold an ID. Good point, sir. Well done.
I don't even want to try to bullshit the guy. It's not worth it. It's not worth breaking the law for this. But he kicks me out. And so I call Ben and Tam. I'm like, what's happening? Where are you guys? And I asked the dude when I came in the door if it was the goat. And he said, yeah. And then Tam and Ben both tell me, there's no one by the door. You can just come sneak in really quick. And I poke my head back through the door and the guy is on the stairs, like so mad at me. But it was right down the street. I don't know what that stupid motherfucker was doing.
He just think you were saying he was the goat?
Are you the greatest of all time? Like,
no, what is a fun prank if you ever go to a bar where they have a line at the bar and get yourself one of those little headset things and then a clipboard and a little flashlight, and you can just charge about 15 people $5 and check their ID before they realize there's not a bouncer at this bar, and you just leave with their money and go drink at a different bar.
Similarly, you could just go to a parking lot and just steal people's cars. It's kind of the same.
You go to any parking lot and charge people for parking there. That's not stealing there, but you can literally like it's $20.
No, I'm saying you could literally go, give me the keys, it's valet, and they will.
Oh, you can do that too. Yeah, you could do it's valet. You can any valet sign only costs $15 at Kinko's, and then you can put it anywhere. It's really nice.
That's true. Also, hilariously, then when Leedy got to the correct bar, she walked in. I'm like, there's nobody carding anybody here. Don't worry. They walk right up to her. They're like, we're gonna have to card you. I'm sorry. And I'm like, oh boy. And they're like, Vax card, please. We're like, yes.
thank goodness.
By the way, I cannot remember the comic, but there was someone at the Laugh Factory. It made me laugh so hard. They were doing crowd work, and they were talking to someone, and they asked like how they got there, and he's like, oh, I drove. He's like, you drove here? Where'd you park? He goes, I valeted. And he sold it so well. He just goes, this club doesn't have valet. And the guy fucking panicked. It was so much fun to watch. He was just freaking the fuck out. And then everybody started laughing. He realized like, oh, okay, there actually is.
That's hilarious.
It was brilliant. I do not remember who it was. It was so good.
Mm-hmm. Well, we do have one of our guests here, but real quick, just before we get to him, I wanted to let everyone know. So we have 7 passes gone. So we've got Stephen, Val, Brad, Zara, Sean, Anna Hood, Cynthia, and Dana. And then Steve and Val are currently in the lead for number 1.
Imagine that.
Yep, that's it.
All right.
Nice.
And for those, there were a couple of people I just saw in the chat who asked, anyone who tips at least $50 for the show gets one of the passes from the Dark Stuff tour, and the top 9 tippers get the artist passes.
Yep, and the top 1 tipper gets all that plus my set list from night 2 of my special reporting, and the second place tipper gets the set list from the improv, and number 1 also gets a vintage lady and some other extra stuff. It's going to be super fun, and Zara bought one for Cass. That was very kind.
Oh, and
Very
apparently
cool.
Sean Ehrlich did too. So
Cass gets 2.
So Cass has a bunch now.
All right. Does Cass get an artist and a guest pass? You could give one to Leedy so she could get in places.
Yay!
By the way, I can't tell you how many times, even with one of the passes, they still stopped her.
Yes,
was-
Jesus Christ. it was
She
so
just has a
fucking
very
annoying.
I don't belong here face. I don't know what that is.
Hey, I did for the first week, and then I realized that if you just look like you know what you're doing, people will let you
Yep.
anywhere.
That
Yeah.
is the key to life, man.
It was
Just walk
great.
around like you're supposed to be
You just
there.
have to
It helps if
walk
you wear a
in-
tuxedo, but
Walk in confidently, even if you are accidentally walking into the utility closet. Walk in confidently.
Actually, when I got to the improv was it the improv where you were? Oh, the Helium in Philly, where Ben was filming his special. I walked up with my big old duffel bag, and I opened the door, and there was a dude who like opened it for me and just like escorted me in like 2 hours before the show. Didn't ask me a thing, so that was great. I just walked in like, "This is where I'm going. Thank you. Move aside, sir."
And they even offered to check her bag of rifles. It was very nice.
But then what was great is I walk in and I see Ben coming this way, and I go, "Hey, Ben," and he goes, "Who are you?" "Oh, it's Leedy."
Yeah. Literally, she had a mask on and her hair looked different. And I was about to say, "Are you Monica who's opening the show?" I literally had no idea it was Leedy Corbin. Until she immediately started drawing. I'm like, oh, that must be Leedy.
By the way, also, Leedy, they let you right in because if you bring a bag into anywhere in Philly, they just assume it's batteries to throw at Santa Claus. So
That means, I'm assuming that happened there recently.
Yes,
huh?
it did. At a Eagles football game, Santa came out and the Eagles fans threw batteries at him because fuck Eagles fans.
yeah, there used to be a courthouse in the stadium to process people during Eagles games. That's
Oh,
You
wow.
wonder why Rachel wasn't into sports? Like,
No. There's a difference between Eagles fans and sports fans. It's a totally
okay.
different.
Oh, we've got both of our guests here now.
Yeah. All right. Excellent. Well, let's. Do you want to catch up on a couple tips real quick?
No,
or should
we're
we
good.
introduce-
We're good.
All right.
I'll read
Excellent.
them in a bit.
So that said, ladies and gentlemen, so excited to have this comic here. I think one of my oldest friends in comedy. We used to play the college circuit together all the time, and he has gone on to such great success. He is, as we said earlier, he is a regular cast member on Cobra Kai. He plays Anoush. He is also currently hosting a show on the Food Network that we're going to ask him all about. Please welcome Dan Ahdoot, everybody. Dan Ahdoot!
Hey, Dan Ahdoot. You said a
Hi,
douche,
guys.
not a douche, right, Steve?
No,
You said
Anoush. He
not
plays Anoush.
Because there's a lot of
Dan-
douches on. There's also a lot of douches on Cobra Kai. So I didn't know.
Weirdly enough, Dana Douche was my nickname in middle school.
What's going on, Dan? How are you,
What
buddy?
up, Gleib? How are you? You know, Ben
Fantastic.
sends me a text like once a year. He's like, "You coming to the party? It starts in half hour." I'm like, "Who is this? What party?" Like, come on, man, the party's starting. And because Ben always has these random huge Hollywood parties.
He does.
It's always very fun to be a part of.
Yes, and I embarrassed myself terribly this year because it was like winding down. I didn't want it to end, and so I texted a group of like 10 friends. Once there was less than the amount of people that Carmel let me have in the house left, and I said, "Come on over and party. I'm having it over." And I thought I included Dan on that group text, and I didn't. And then I followed up with just my address. He's like, "Why are you giving me your address?"
Look, it's one thing, there's tiers of when you get invited to a party. One is the first string, 2 months.
Sure.
Then, you see who responds. If there are, you need to add more a month later. And then, 2 weeks before. This was literally halfway through the party. It wasn't even an invite. It was just, this is my address.
Dan, I have 4 beers left. What are you doing? Get over here.
In my defense, Carmel only let me have 12 people in the house, so it was a very tight list this year.
Yeah, you
Oh
had to
my
go
God.
through cycles. I understand. It's like when you have a small wedding, you send out your invites, and then based on who can't go, you send out the next round of invites.
True.
Right, exactly.
I've never
And
had a
this was
small wedding. All my weddings have been big
I bet that.
money makers.
I bet
Yeah,
that. Maybe next time make it
all
about the
your
love,
weddings.
Bowers.
My first wedding had 450 people. My second wedding had 250 people. So I did better the second time.
By the way, can I just say, this is going to be complete non sequitur. It makes no sense, but I will bring it around. I've been listening to this podcast about Adolf Hitler. It's like a 10-part long podcast about
It's
Adolf
called
Hitler.
Mindcast. It's called Mindcast. It's very good.
Yeah. I
Oh my
promise
God,
I'll
is
bring
that
it
what
around.
Minecraft is?
But one of the main takeaways of how Adolf Hitler rose to power was that whenever there was a new medium of media or whatever, he was the first person to latch onto it and to really adopt it and to spread his message. And I was like, oh my God, Steve Hofstetter is the Adolf Hitler of comedy.
First of all, Dan, you're not the first person to say that, but
I mean that in the nicest possible way. I mean, the guy got a message across. The guy got a message.
Dan, I think what we're gonna say is thank God Steve's funny, right?
I was gonna say thank God Steve's first book went well.
It was weird that he named it My Struggle. I don't know. Could have come up
if you
with
read the book, that's what it's about.
it was about a struggle, but it's very different. It's very different.
Oh man,
I'm trying to get 6 million followers. It's different.
Oh my God.
Yeah, Ginger Kid was what the publisher made him change it to. Aryan Kid, he didn't think tested well.
Oh man.
Well, Dan, it's good to see you again. Thanks for joining us. We've had so much fun.
No, wait. I have other things to talk about.
The Adolf Hitler of comedy.
I have other things to talk about. I've been listening to another podcast about Genghis Khan.
Sure, yeah.
Dan, okay, I gotta say, seeing you get your own show on the Food Network is so fucking cool. I know that food has been like a huge passion for you for so long, and you did what a lot of comics do, and they take what their passion is and they do a podcast about it. And so you had this podcast about food, and it's one of those things where it's like, oh, good, Dan's got this creative outlet and it's going well. People seem to be into it, and it worked in the best possible way. I think that's the coolest shit. Can you tell us kind of what that journey was?
Yeah. Basically, I wanted to. Like Steve has known this because we've always toured together. But wherever I just all I care about is food. Like literally, the only reason I got into comedy is so that I can travel around and go to good restaurants.
I like that with booze. That's why I only did comedy so I would get free beer if I went places.
Exactly.
Yeah, but instead he toured with me, and he was like, "Enough Bob Evans, Steve. Let's move on."
Same thing, and Steve doesn't drink, so it's like, Steve, what are we doing?
Yes.
Let's drink. It's the same fucking thing. I get it. He's making eat Bob Evans all sober. Fuck.
It's true. And he's always go to those the white supremacist rallies, whatever city he goes.
Oh my God.
Anyway, I've always
They're always too early for me. I'm too hungover to go to the white supremacist rallies. They start at 8 a.m. Those guys are all go-getters. I don't get it.
Yeah. Anyway, I've always loved food. I've always loved comedy. And I've always wanted to do a food podcast that's like a comedic food podcast. And I tried to sell it everywhere, and no one was buying. And so ultimately, people were like, there's no market for food and comedy. And I found this tiny podcast network, and they took a shot on it. And in 3 months, we became the #1 food podcast in the country. And it was all just based on, interviewing celebrities based on their fridges, what's inside their fridge. And so you get to see all these celebrities, pictures of the inside their fridges on my Instagram, @StandUpDan. Oh, the name of the show is Screen Eggs and Dan, by the way. And
there you go.
Anyway, Food Network people watched it, and they were like, we had this idea for a show, and we kind of worked together to develop it. And it's called Raid the Fridge, and it's on the Food Network now. So
now, how many celebrities don't have anything in their fridge? Because like literally my fridge is nothing. It's like got a bottle of ketchup and a couple, 3-4 beers in it. Is that normal? Or is people have?
Are you trying to see how famous you are based on how little?
No. I'm just saying. I didn't know if the more famous you got, if the less shopping you did, or the more is my question. Like,
I don't think fame has anything to do with your fridge. It's more where you are in life. Like single people and married people. That seems to be like the main arbiter of what your fridge is going to look like.
Those are the two kinds of people, single and married. You're right. So
those are two kinds of people.
It's kind of binary. You're married or like okay. Anyway,
and does this happen a lot? Does this happen a lot in people who are not singles fridges? Like my fridge, it's jam-packed, full of 0 things I can eat. 0. Nothing edible in there.
Really? Like what? Give me an example.
There's just no meals. It's like part dog food, part garlic, part basil, part like old thing of
I know.
homemade cashew milk I can't use for anything. There's tomatoes on the bottom of a thing.
Did you say homemade cashew milk? You made your own cashew milk?
Come on, Carmel,
okay,
man.
Good. I'm just making sure that wasn't the thing you did.
And those are what's called ingredients.
Those are ingredients. You take the ingredients and you put them together, and then you make something.
Come on. I'm not a witch. I'm not a fucking witch.
I'm not kidding, Dan. I have never taken something that wasn't already food and added it to something else that wasn't food and made it food. So like I've never taken flour and eggs together. Like I can microwave a hot dog. I can put a hot dog on a bun. I can make spaghetti because sauce and noodles just mix together. But like I've never taken ingredients and made anything. Are you cooking shit or are you just eating shit?
I am definitely cooking shit. I love cooking stuff, and I love eating stuff as well. And Chris, you know what? You don't give yourself enough credit. I think you can cook stuff. You just need just look at YouTube videos. There's never been a better time to learn how to cook stuff. You have zero.
Oh yeah, I hate learning. Did I tell you that part?
Wait, Dan, can I also just point out that when he was talking about things that aren't food that are just ingredients, he mentioned eggs.
Yeah, I caught that. Eggs are also an ingredient. I'm saying that to make it into a cake. I know you can make eggs into their own food. That's not my point. I'm saying you can't make flour into its own food. You shouldn't make sugar its own food, I guess. But
yeah.
So again, time of your life. So you're saying when are people's fridges empty as opposed to when they're full of stuff to eat? Is it single? So single.
Oh, right. Yeah, so that has a lot to do with it. Also, if there's kids, then there's going to be more milk than I ever thought that any human would ever have to fucking ingest. It's insane. Right. It's wild the amount of milk that these kids are drinking. And also, actually, the more famous someone is, the more different kinds of non-milk they will have. They will have all the nut milks that you can imagine out of nuts that you didn't even know they made milks out of. It's like fucking pistachio milks and shit. Really, John Legend? Why can't you just have milk?
Welcome to my life. I can't explain to you how demoralizing it is to have the amount of sex or lack thereof I have in my house, and then have all kinds of other nut milks in the fridge. It's
I just don't know, Ben. I don't know.
Got some nut. You want to milk me, Carmen?
Ben, I don't know if you're famous enough to have that many nut milk. That many nut milk, I said.
Don't make me pull out my many nut milk. I'll pull my many nut milk out.
Hey, let me ask this question as a lover of food. What's the most side salad you've ever eaten in one restaurant experience?
Oh, God.
The most side salads?
Yeah.
One.
Like with a full meal, like where you've had a full meal, but
you just said one.
One? Okay. Because Ben's is 4. Ben had 4 side salads at Norm's one night, and it was the most amazing thing I've ever seen in my entire life.
It's not the most I've done in front of Bowers. I'll eat 6, 7 if I can get my hands on them.
Yeah, Ben, I feel like we've eaten together, and I remember you being like a filthy monster a little bit.
Yes.
Like Chris saying that wrong. By the way, everything Chris is saying is like creating these like memories in my head. Like when you said Steve doesn't drink, I was like, oh yeah, fuck. Now I remember him and I sitting at a NACA conference and the thing, and then I'm like drinking wine, and he's like, can I get a soda or something? Like it's all coming back, and Ben, for some reason, I'm remembering like darkness, like late night, and you're just like this weird sniveling human ordering weird. Like, is any of this?
The darkness.
I'm not sure. I think I've checked some of those
the food.
What's that, Steve?
I said the darkness was your soul enveloping the food. That was
Yes.
I guess so. I mean, yeah.
His eyes go black when he eats. I think that's what you're talking about. His eyes go black like he's in a trance.
Yeah.
I would love to confirm your memory, Dan, but you threw a couple adjectives in there. It makes it very difficult for me.
Which adjectives?
Sniveling, I feel like, isn't my favorite way to be described. But then again, you called Steve Adolf Hitler, so that's fine.
No, I kid with the ones I love. You know, I don't know Chris very well, so that's why I'm being very.
That's why he's not making fun of me at all.
Yeah.
I get it.
So Dan, I want to talk to you about Cobra Kai because it is one of my favorite shows. It is
so
fucking good. They do such a good job of being like the on purpose cheesy without being over the top. Like it's the nod to the 80s movies, but it's still being interesting and gripping characters. Is it like there are some shows that I've heard are, super fun to work on, and some shows that is as good as the product is, everybody hates working on it. How is working on Cobra Kai for you?
Look, every show I've ever worked on, it's always top down, like from whoever is in charge. What their attitude is kind of spills down to everyone, right? So if it's like a toxic person in charge, it's just not going to be a fun set to work on, even if it's the best show ever. This show, though, like, first of all, from the creators, John Hurwitz, Hayden Schlossberg, and Josh Heald, like, they're such super fans of this stuff that they're literally like kids, like, on this set, like, excited that they get to work with their idols, right? So that's kind of fun. Also, William Zabka and Ralph Macchio, like, to them, they can't believe their luck that this is actually happening.
Right.
And they're so excited about it, and they're so grateful that I've worked with people who are way less famous, who are way more diva-ish on set. Like these guys are like so like beaming with happiness the whole time. So that's the kind of vibe on set, is like everyone is just really thrilled to be there. And it's just so much fun, and it's great. And it's also just like a very fun, I don't know, it has such an interesting brand as a show, where when people see you and they see that you're part of that show, like I can wear a Cobra Kai shirt out and I don't feel like it's cheesy, because it's such a fun, like I literally got a LaRusso Auto license plate thing for my car.
Nice.
And it's fucking cool, because you're like out in the world and feel like that's the guy who works at the dealership, and he's got, I don't know, it's kind of
That move was cool. When you also then wrapped the entire skin of the car with "I'm the guy from Cobra Kai," it felt like a little much.
I mean, yes,
Also, your license plate being Cobra Guy. I mean, it's a little.
Yeah.
Look, I think I'm trying to figure out why you weren't invited to the party till last minute, Dan.
Okay. In all seriousness, I will tell you this, okay? The fucking show comes. Am I allowed to curse on this?
Yeah.
No.
Oh yeah.
Okay.
No, you
Show
can't.
comes out the show comes out basically during peak pandemic, okay? Peak pandemic, and I'm like, oh my god, I'm on the #1 show in the world. Like, it's crazy, dude. I'm getting like DMs from people in like the mountains of Karachi. They're like, we love your show. I'm like, how are you getting reception up there? And it's like, you finally get on like the most famous show in the world, and it's like, anytime you leave the house, you have to go and cover your face. I'm like, god damn it! And then finally, like, COVID seems to be waning. Season 4 is coming out. I'm like, great, this is my moment. And then Omicron's like, nope, go fuck yourself, asshole. Ass on! It's like, whenever the show comes out, we all have to mask up. I feel like I'm living in like a Jean-Paul Sartre.
It's one of those monkey paw wishes, right? You got a monkey paw wish where like it fucks with you. Yeah. Like my buddy Todd McCombs is a comic. Him and Sean Lathan, another comic, were big Barstool Sports guys. They did Barstool Sports like 5 years ago, and they became super famous, but only to drunk guys. So it was like not like, it was only bros that wanted them to do shots of Jaeger the whole night. So it was the kind of this like, you're famous, but that's not. I kind of want girls to know me, not fucking these dudes.
That would be the worst level of fame for me. It would literally be fame with the very people I didn't want to talk to. Like that.
Now they all love you and want you to do shots, and you don't drink, but they call you a pussy because you don't.
Yeah.
But still, Dan, a far cry from our humble origins of WWE Legends House.
Oh my God, Ben, that was a magical moment that you and I had.
It was indeed.
Ben and I lived with a bunch of just oxy-addicted WWE, former WWE stars who were all just really, it was so sad, but also you and I were huge WWE fans from back, or WWF fans. We were so into it. And it was the roast of Roddy Piper that we were writing for, right?
Yep.
Oh, wow. He died, and I was I was so happy that I got to. And didn't Mean Gene die as well?
Mean Gene passed away, I believe, as well. But not
this
all
while
during
you're
the
writing
shoot.
for the roast or after?
Not during the shoot. No.
Oh God, I'm
we're all alive.
The roast of Roddy Piper, and then he died. I'm like, oh fuck, that had to make it worse.
No, it was
by
awesome.
The way, Taylor did just text me and say Minecraft is German mac and cheese. So nicely done, Taylor.
and also, do you remember when Tony Atlas scared the shit out of you?
What was this again?
We were sitting at a big round table eating a meal, and Tony was the guy that I was partnered with, one of the guys I was partnered with, and he says to me, "I'm gonna fuck with your buddy right now." And you were sitting next to him, and he comes up behind you, and he's like, "Get the hell out of my seat, bro! Right now!" You're like, "I'm sorry." He's like, "No!" You're like, "Oh no, I'm so sorry." He's like, "I'm kidding. Everything's fine."
By the way, Ben, let me just say, I don't know if it was your internet that skipped or my internet that skipped, but I heard you just say, Tony Atlas said, "I'm gonna fuck your buddy right now," which is a very different.
Oh no! Your internet is working perfectly fine. That's exactly what happened, and I fucked.
Watch my finishing move.
Finish him for $50 extra.
Dan, we have to get to our next guest, but so happy to have you on the show, and it's called Raid the Fridge, right? It is. Yeah. It is so much fun. Even just seeing the clips that you guys release, before I could ever see an episode, it's just a fun show. Like, it's a really
Yeah.
fun, and it's got all the elements of like Food Network being like very, just comforting and easy to watch, but also it's just a lot more fun than their typical show. So I highly recommend it to everybody. Please go watch.
Thanks, man. I appreciate it. Yeah, that was the last thing I wanted was another because these competition shows take themselves way too seriously. They're like, welcome to Kitchen Genocide Death Battle Royale. Everyone relax. We're curing salmon, not cancer. Yeah, no, it's thank you for saying that. It's a very fun show. And please follow me on the socials at StandUpDan. And my podcast is Green Eggs and Dan.
Sounds awesome, man.
Yeah, I got to have you guys
Thank
on
you,
for
buddy.
sure.
Thanks,
Thank
Dan.
you guys. Thanks for having me.
Absolutely. I would love to see an interview with Bowers about what's in his fridge. That would be.
It's just all booze. It's just all booze. I can talk about
Yeah, it would just be like
it's all booze. It's just all booze and relish. Whatever.
Be like, ooh, a Coors Light. This is a 2019 vintage.
No, nothing's that old. There's no old beer in my fridge. Dude.
I was like, the idea that you would have a beer that you didn't drink for 3 years. That's preposterous.
I have a Bengals beer I haven't drank since 1988 that we're going to open up if the Bengals win the Super Bowl. But that's we might die of lead poisoning, but we'll see.
Please, Dan, just teach me how to combine foods into something I can eat.
I promise. I'll send you a couple quick recipes.
Couple recipes for some almond milk might help him out. Turn that into something for him. Maybe pour it on a salad. I don't know.
I love it. All right, thanks, guys.
Thanks, Dad.
Thank
See
you much,
buddy.
Dan.
Thank you.
All right, let's get to some updates right before we get to our next guest.
Boom.
So we just real quick, some generals. So front row Steve, Stephen Valor still in number 1. I want that Gleib set list, god dag nabbit. So
Nice.
he's still in first. Technics at the Roxy today. Legibly legit OG vintagely ladies. Too many words.
I actually think there were only like 3. You just made them into 7.
I did not. I read it as I saw it. Dana said to Ben for the most fun in Philly ever. Oh, and hi to that Steve guy too.
Nice.
Marielle, it's like the family's back together again. I love these special monthly shows. Technics, Godwin's Law enters into SDSC as we Hofstetter Hitler.
Oh my God.
Cool. Cass said this is going to be all over the place, guys. This is from the last 51 minutes of
We get it.
Random comments. Cass said we had a customer at my store mobile order under the name Nicole Steamed Nut Milk.
Oh yeah, I remember that.
It's true.
The dude abides said if the multiverse is real, somewhere Ben is president with the vice president Spider-Man. It's an improvement on Trump.
By the way, I also just love the idea of be like, Mrs. Steam Nut Milk. Be like, please, my mother's Mrs. Steam Nut Milk. You can call me Nicole.
We had Lilith Tiblidi and said, will Leedy be at the Fargo show and can I bring her cupcakes?
Leedy will not be at the Fargo show. She is joining the tour starting March 30th. Fargo and Sioux Falls are just a quick little weekend thing. So that's just me and Rob Ryan. But the full tour kicks off on March 30th, and Leedy will be there for the whole thing.
You can bring them cupcakes though.
Please do not bring me cupcakes.
Steve
you
doesn't
can
want
bring Rob
cupcake.
cupcakes.
Yeah. Robbie cupcakes?
Rob
that
eats
beard.
anything. Rob will eat anything. Bring him cupcakes.
Good to know.
And then an update on passes. So we have updated. So Stephen, Val, Brad, Cass, Wendy, Anna Hood, Kretz. I already named some of these people. But then Tam has one. She also tipped and is gifting one to Jan. So thank you so much, Tam. We've got Mary L, Gray Gorman, and then Gray just said, running 45 minutes behind showtime. I'm going to swing up to live now. Figure I may need to up my game to make sure that, one of the first ones are up for grabs. So far we're up to, I think we're at like 13 passes. So.
All right, so we got 3 left, and then it's a competition for the 9.
Yep.
And I got to say, I think when I moved to the Valley, the most disappointing part of moving to the Valley for me was the quality of the amateur karate. It was not what I was hoping it would be.
That's my favorite. My favorite thing about Cobra Kai is the complete wink about how excited the Valley is for karate. It's so.
I went to 3 tournaments. There was no one there. I mean, it was weird. I'm like, fuck, I moved here for this, and you guys don't give a shit at all.
At least you guys are finally criticizing my new karate habit to my face.
And then here's a really good intro for our next guest. We had a tip already come in from Allison Shuchuk. She said, I'm so excited for Josh Wolf. I met him 2 weeks ago at the comic strip. He's amazing. He also stole my lighter.
So our next guest, truly, I think one of the best storytellers in the business. He has various different stories that have 50 million views a piece. His videos are absolutely incredible. Just so much fun to watch. Please welcome Mr. Josh Wolf, everybody.
Woo! Josh Wolf, what up? Oh, can't hear you.
You're muted, buddy.
How about that?
There you are.
Yeah.
Yay. Now listen, I want to say something real quick. So I'm not wearing my glasses, so I can kind of read the names you guys have underneath there.
Oops.
I have to tell you, I thought that said Queef Rachel.
Of
And
all
I was
the
like-
names that we have right now,
Yeah, I was
Ben
like,
is a filthy monster. Bowers is can make hot dog. I am the Hitler of comedy right now.
Yeah.
And you're
now
like,
I'm
wait,
Queef
wait,
Rachel. Taylor.
See,
Wishes come true here, Josh.
Yeah. I was like, what a weird nickname to give yourself. That is-
Hi, my name's Rachel. But call me Queef Rachel. That's a thing. Don't worry about it.
I'll be honest, Josh, it's a weirder nickname for someone else to give you.
yeah, that's true. Yeah.
And it's not actually a queef, it's just her trying to pronounce words.
Josh, how you been, man? Are you live in Vegas now? You're
I'm
bouncing
really
around
good,
everywhere.
man. Yeah, you know what? We had one winter in Nashville, and Beth was like, fuck that.
Did you move to Vegas?
Yeah, I live in Vegas.
Wow. Anything except LA, huh?
I'm never moving back to LA. 0% chance. Zero. It's just not.
The problem is Josh just isn't good enough at karate to live in the valley anymore.
Let me tell you something. I lived in the Valley for years, and by the way, I'm friends with Billy Zabka. What a great dude! Everything you're saying about him is 100% true. He could not be a nicer guy.
Mm-hmm.
I think I could probably beat the shit out of him. I mean, I'm just going on record right now. I'm just going on. He's bigger than me, but I think karate wise, I think I would have to do a couple of private workouts. But
I think you almost have it down, Josh. That's from all the karate I've taken. That's as far as I got.
Josh,
So
are you telling us that Cobra Kai is fake?
No, listen, dude. But I would ask you this: between Ralph Macchio and Leonardo DiCaprio, who's got a better body? You know what I mean? Like they both got skinny fat down to a fucking T. I think as far as skinny fat bodies, Ralph Macchio and Leonardo DiCaprio are the 1 and 1A. I don't know who's better.
As someone who, I spent a lot of my life being scrawny fat, which is a particular brand. It was basically my torso looked like a lowercase b.
Yeah.
Just straight down in the chest, nothing, and then just a little.
Yeah, that's what they are. That's what those guys are. So who do you think, Steve? Who's got a better skinny fat body, Ralph Macchio or Leonardo DiCaprio?
Well, hold on. Let me consult. I made a chart. Hold on.
Okay. All right.
Wait a minute. Wait, so you're that kind of fat, Steve, but I'm skinny fat. I'm straight up. This is the fat you're talking about, right, Josh? You see me shirtless.
No. By the way, I said I was.
Yeah. Yes, right. That's right. But Ben, even like Leo, they're even skinnier throughout, and then there's just like Steve was describing, and then it's like, oh, where'd you get one of those? Like that little thing that hangs out.
Oh, so I'm just fat, is what you're saying.
Sean Patton has a thing he calls whiskey fat, which I've always liked. Whiskey fat is that solid fat where it doesn't go anywhere. You can't poke it. It's not squishy. That's salad fat. Like I'm whiskey fat. Like my stomach is like I was just telling them one time I went to Cedar Point and I was too fat for the roller coaster because they couldn't push the bar down over my stomach. And like guy in front of me is way fatter, and she's like, "He's way fatter than you. He's just squishy, and you're not. I can't squish you." I'm like,
we have a name for that actually. What'd you call it? Whiskey fat.
Whiskey fat. That's what Sean Patton calls it.
Yeah, we called it alcoholics, but
sure.
I mean, I would say that is the difference. Like when your stomach is so taut that you can like bonk, and it goes boing.
It's the.
But if you drink long enough, you get skinny again. That's the thing people never tell you.
It's
a bell curve.
No, Bowers has one ab.
Yes,
it's just
that's
one.
right.
Yeah, one big ass ab. Yeah, it's true.
That's all
It's
you need.
it's fucking, it's brolic, but it's
It'll
one.
break your hand, bro. Punch me in the stomach.
Now, the real question I have for you, Bowers, because I do love your jacket shoe game combo. Do you have shoes that match that jacket?
Oh.
Oh no.
Oh my God.
He does not have Bengal shoes, does he?
I mean,
If he comes back without them, it's going to be very disappointing.
I think so too. I think without a doubt. Steve.
Now, I will say this. I'm not one of those people that wears two of the same team. So I'm not going to have like a Bengal shirt and jacket and hat. That's too much for me. But I did get my first pair of Jordans and they matched. I bought them to match this coat for sure. So I have orange Jordans that match my Bengals coat. So yeah, I do always match the coat with the shoes. I'm not going to have Bengals shoes. That'd be too much to me. But
yeah, I love how he was like, I'm not going to wear a t-shirt. That's too much. But look at this jacket. You know what I mean?
No, I don't want to be that guy that has. I don't have the guy that has 3 different logos on him. I don't want to have the Bengals hat, Bengals socks. I mean, even I have orange socks, but they don't have the Bengals on them.
Well, I think your restraint is admirable, Bowers.
Right.
Yeah,
I agree.
By the way, I heard, but I was listening earlier and listening to Ben's Hollywood parties. I ended up at one of those one night, and I made a mistake. But Ben's parties are a ton of fun. He's a great host. He puts out way too much food. He makes sure everybody's happy. But one night, what game were we playing, Ben?
Oh, God.
It was game night, and his guests were
aggro.
Yeah, and I had taken one too many mushrooms. So it was really a tough table for me to sit at. They were so serious, and I was more like, hey, why is your eyeball moving around your face? You know what I mean?
They were real serious.
Yeah,
I felt
we were
so
having,
bad.
And we were having 2 different experiences. You know what I mean? I was like, what are we doing? Like,
and it was the free radicals that you can't anticipate. One of them was Carmel's friends that I did not vet in advance. Another one was the boyfriend of a female comic, and that's always normally I would never allow that into my household, but I was trying to be nice. And this guy was like he was the referee of all games. It was the worst.
It was absolutely amazing. He was rule checking.
Yeah. He was like, yeah, and then he wouldn't get a point, and we'd be like, yeah, I'm just I get to choose. It's my turn to choose. I'm choosing for that one. He would go,
yeah.
Oh, boy. I was like so uncomfortable.
Yeah, my first big Hollywood party was at Ben's house for his birthday last year, and I wore my red sparkly shoes, you know, and somebody kept saying, oh, did you click your heels together and say there's no place like home? And I said, fuck no. And they said, why? I go, what if it worked? My heels together, and I woke up in Indiana, I'd shoot myself in the fucking head. I'm at my first Hollywood party. I don't want to go anywhere.
Also, Bowers at that party was on the outside list. He was allowed on the perimeter.
Yeah, I was not on the guest list. The security guy did not let me in.
But Chrissy was on the inside, and I sat next to Chrissy while we were in the karaoke room.
Yeah, I got over the fence. There were 7. By the way, here are my orange socks that match my outfit.
Wow.
Oh my
God. But I wanted to say that I turned around to Chrissy and I was like, how are you doing? And she said, well, I drank a lot before I came here and I'm on mushrooms. And I was just like, what are you and Bowers doing? How are you guys functional?
The last party I was at your house, Ben, I had such a long conversation with Chewy Bravo. Now, I have to tell you this talk. So for those of you guys who don't know, Chewy was a little person who was Chelsea Handler's sidekick on Chelsea Lake. And he basically, he had this weird line. Steve, I can't believe have you ever heard any Chewy stories?
I've actually never met Chewy.
Okay, so he's dead now, so good luck with that.
I mean, I'm the Hitler of comedy.
You want to meet him, you're going to need a shovel. That's all we're saying. You're going to need a shovel to meet him at this point. Okay.
You can meet him now. Yeah,
I never met him, but my men did.
Yeah, by the way, right now, Steve, he's a great listener. So, but we were outside of Ben's house. And by the way, Chewy had this weird line, like, on Chelsea lately, guys, he did the craziest thing. Like, we dressed him up one show, we dressed him up as a baby. He got in diapers. He had a pacifier. He sucked on Brad Wallach's nipple.
Oh my God.
However, when I gave him a baby bottle, he was like, nah, I won't do that. I'm like, Why not? He was like, I'm not doing that. I was like, why? He was like, that's where the line is. I'm like, that's the line?
Gotcha.
The
I love
baby
weird
one?
lines. I love
Yeah.
people with weird lines. It fascinates me when they have a
Especially when-
weird, like, that's the
Right.
thing you won't do? You're shooting heroin, but you don't eat bacon.
You're
Interesting.
sucking on this dude's nipple in front of everybody. But the baby bottle, right? So we were outside of your house, Ben, and he was talking about, he goes, yeah, I'm going down to Tijuana to this doctor for a procedure. I go, what procedure? And he goes, I don't know, but he says it's gonna make me younger. And I go, what's it called, man? And he goes, and he starts to talk to me like I'm stupid. He goes, Josh, it's a procedure.
He would do that a lot. He would explain a word that we're getting, but he's for some reason thinking we're not getting. And he'd
Yeah, I know what procedure means, dude. And he goes, it's a procedure. I go, got it. I go, and the doctor says what? He goes, it's gonna make me younger. And I go, okay. I go, how long do you have to stay down there? He goes, it's up to the procedure. And I go, got it. I was like, when do you go? He goes, next week. I go, well, I'm gonna say my goodbyes now, just in case.
Yeah, sure. Yeah.
I just want to fucking tell you how much I like you before you go down for this procedure. When he came back, he called me, and I go, how you feel? He goes, I would recommend this procedure to anybody. And I'm like, do you still know what it is yet? He goes, nah, they put me to sleep. I'm like, got it. So they put you to sleep and you woke up. You don't know if anything happened at all. He was like, besides the procedure, no. I'm like, okay, all right. By the way,
well, they
does he know what part of the
amputated his
body the
wallet.
procedure? Go ahead, Steve.
I said they amputated his wallet.
I was gonna say, like,
here's the other thing, Steve.
part of the body the procedure was even on.
They had all this huge fanfare because they were opening up this medical facility in Tijuana that a celebrity from the United States was coming. So they brought him in, they stood him outside. He was the first patient. He waved, they brought him inside. He said they brought him into a room. He got put out. He woke up and he left. He doesn't even know. He doesn't even know.
Let me just say, when you're going in for surgery, there should never be balloons in an oversized check.
Yeah.
Like, that's not.
Also, when it comes to procedures of medical stuff, you want to be the 1 millionth customer, not the first.
But also, not to get too dark, Josh, but isn't that how he died in the end? He went back to Mexico for a procedure?
That I don't know.
I'm not sure if it was that or it was like random circumstances from like a gastro problem, but I thought he was getting the gastro surgery.
By the way, Ben, I mean, listen, that show, we did some pretty awful things, but one day we were all so curious what the life expectancy of a little person was. So we all Googled it, and we had a giant like board. So when we Googled things, we could see it. And it was like a Curb episode. We Googled it, it came up on the board, and he walked right in. He was like, that's fucked up. And he walked down. We were like, oh, sorry, man.
Yeah. I mean, Chelsea lately could not have happened today. The show could not have happened as it happened.
Zero.
It was the most inappropriate, politically incorrect,
zero chance,
rude, harassment-filled environment. It was just, you signed up to be part of madness there, like weird madness.
You couldn't have feelings.
Yeah.
Because everybody was getting it. Including her, by the way. Everybody was getting it.
Oh, yeah.
And you couldn't have feelings. It was the last show that I remember where it truly felt like, you know how you three will sit around and off camera, I'm sure it gets even worse, right? Take that worst part of you and your friends and then just put it on TV. That's Ben, that's what we were doing. Because half the times those roundtables, I remember a couple of them, we never got to topics. We just all started going in on each other. It was like, it was like a nonstop, and you had, with some of those shows, you would look at who was on it, and you would like, oh, I better be on my A game today.
Let me ask this question.
One of
Josh.
my proudest.
Is Ben the most fun person to make fun of ever? Because to me, he is. Like, he takes it so well. He's so good at it. He gives you so much material just by his life. He tells you all these things he shouldn't tell you. And then it's just perfect. He's like the perfect guy to make fun of, like in the best way.
I'll tell you why he's great. Him and Joe Coy, because they're great. They will laugh. They'll take it, but be ready, because they're not just gonna take it, and they're happy to take whatever you want. But they are.
Oh, Ben
funny.
used to burn people?
They're
Used to. Fuck you.
Oh, fuck, I didn't know
Please
that.
assemble a reel.
I just thought he was a punching bag the whole time. I didn't know he got to come.
Someone assemble a
He would
reel.
make fun of you.
Someone assemble a reel of me burning Bowers on this show, please.
But I would say
Do that.
all
Greg
three.
Murphy.
That's great.
Yes.
But the same thing. Look, Bowers, when I see you in public, you and I, that's all we do is make fun of each other.
Right.
Steve, look, the best thing about all three of you is, and this particular format, is there's no feelings. And
Yeah.
you're laughing. You understand what it is. It's jokes amongst friends. And if anybody ever took it seriously, the people watching would also be like, yeah, then I don't like that. That's hurting.
Right.
Yeah.
You guys are all in on the joke.
Speaking of that, I did promise a surprise segment.
Wait, real quick before we surprise segment, I just have to say one more thing. Just it is true that Joe Coy also is amazing at taking that kind of joke. And Chelsea, if you remember, started making fun of him a couple years before she really got comfortable doing that with me. So I'm figuring about 2 years from now she starts fucking me, right?
You know what I love? You know what I love is that you keep track of years on your wrist. You're like,
He makes little notches.
Not days, not minutes, but years. This is where I keep track of my years right here on my wrist.
Josh, do you have you're fantastic at pranks. Do you have time to stick around for another couple minutes with us?
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
All right. I just think you might
I'm excited
appreciate
for
this.
now. All right. What are we got doing? What are we doing here? What's your segment, Steve?
Well, before we do that, Rachel, do we have anything to catch up on?
I'm gonna say no, just so we can get to that segment, even though we have lots.
All right.
Queef, Rachel.
Oh, I do want to say something, you motherfucker. Greg Murphy came back and said Josh was the first person on SDSC to actually pick on me. And the first thing he said when he came on the show today was he called me Queef Rachel. So
Hey, Josh is nothing if he's not on brand. He's on brand.
I'm usually the one that people don't pick on. It's always because they know,
Yeah.
the guys. So.
Yeah. But she says something real
Including
dumb.
Josh.
So we only make fun of her like 3 times an episode because she has to say something real dumb for us to make fun of her.
Just so you know, I was watching and saw you were the only person not getting it. And I was like, well, that doesn't seem right.
Yeah, usually Ben's the only one not getting it. Anyway, Steve, what's the segment?
Listen, dude, Bowers, don't wear that jacket and pretend like you see pussy all the time. Like, let's joke about what we should be joking about. And by the way, pussy that's not on your computer. I mean, like pussy,
my girlfriend's also a Bengals fan because I need someone who's going to stick with me even if I disappoint them. So it works out.
By the way.
And she never expects a ring, which is nice. So that's why you should date Bengals fans. Every year she wants to, but mid-October she knows that shit's not happening. Anyway, what's this segment, Steve? Let's go.
All right. So for those who've been with the show a while, they might remember that the hosts got together and pulled quite a great prank on me, where they did this like trivia contest, but it was specifically geography because they know that like as a road comic, I'm quite good at that, and I pride myself on it. And the whole thing was fixed so that they would all tie and beat me. And I would
came
lose
in
by
4th of
one.
a geography contest because we rigged the questions, Josh. It was amazing.
I love that.
They had 4th place trophies made up for me and everything. So that said, Ben, do you remember what I texted you guys after that happened?
Oh, did you get us back?
You're gonna get revenge.
So here's the exact text. I said, it was a pretty fantastic prank. Do you know me well enough? No, you know me well enough to know that I take pride in this sort of thing, and it worked so perfectly. I should warn you, though, there is nothing in life I enjoy more than revenge. It won't be anytime soon, so I wouldn't lose sleep over it tonight.
Okay.
Ben, do you remember what you said?
No.
You said, now I'm not going to sleep, to which I said, that's ridiculous, Ben. I told you that it wouldn't be tonight. Get a good night's sleep.
I'm gonna lock my door real quick.
Turn my alarm on?
Okay, it's locked.
We're all gonna get attacked by budget
Hold on,
chicken.
let me
What's
take my
going
pants
on?
off.
All right.
Hold on.
Let me take my pants off.
As long as we're doing things
So
to make
Ben-
ourselves comfortable, you know.
Ben, I have a question for you.
Yeah.
Whatever happened with Psycho Game Show host?
No.
The movie that you auditioned for called Psycho Game Show Host. How did
No. The whole thing was fake? No.
I bet I'm getting for a fake movie that's not real on
Son
Lifetime.
of a bitch.
It's a Lifetime fake movie too. It's not even a real movie on Lifetime. Oh my god.
Oh.
Do we have the footage of him trying out?
Do you have the audition tape?
I do actually have the footage. However, I'm good enough at pranks to know this, that often people want to prank back in a circle. So Ben, if you try to get me back for this, that's when I show the footage.
No, show the footage. Oh, the footage.
Gotta show the footage.
You have to show
Listen,
the
all I can
footage.
say is I'm definitely getting you back for it, so show the fucking footage, motherfucker.
I don't think you want me to.
Ben, I need to know how long did you prepare for this audition? How much time are we saying you put into this?
Well, no, it wasn't properly an audition. It was just a meet and greet meeting.
Yeah,
Really?
I didn't make him actually audition. What
No,
it
I didn't have
was,
to like learn sides or anything, so
it was about 6 weeks of talking about the movie and then Ben wanting to be in the movie.
and
I
then
introduced
recently
it.
me hearing that the funding went away from Jay. He texted me and said the funding went away and they're not going to be able to do anything about it. And I told Carmelo I was very upset. I'm like, God damn, would have been so perfect. And I reached out to Jay again recently and I was like, how you doing, man? Just wanted to see how you doing. Wish you a happy new year. No reply. I don't know what that was about.
That was probably about him feeling a little bad about it. But basically, so right when it happened, I promised that I was going to get you guys back. And, I figure, I have a good one to get Ben right away. So I reached out to Jay Black and I told him the idea and he said, yep, I'm in. And we basically came up with this idea for a movie that, and my favorite thing about this is I never offered this to Ben. I just talked about how I was going to be in it, knowing full well that if it's a movie about a game show host, Ben would immediately text me and be like, hey, can I audition for this? And I was like, absolutely.
Smart
So
move. By the way,
When I
Hitler
hung out with Jay
comedy-
Black in Vegas, fucking Ben texted me. He was like, hey, mention that psycho thing.
Dude.
I'm like,
Steve, can I tell you that's expert level prank stuff.
thank you.
Because you gotta bring them in. You can't be too excited about it. That's real smart.
yeah. I can't believe we didn't
smart.
make him shoot the movie, Steve. How do we not shoot this fake movie?
I just I got the foot. So it was about 6 weeks of talking about it and Ben trying to get into the movie and then having Jay tell Ben that he was going to audition for the lead and then me text be like, but I'm the lead, and that whole thing.
Oh, yeah. Then you texted back and you're like, well, I get to kill your character. And I was like, really? You get to kill my all of a sudden you're jumping to the killer character in the thing? I was like, all right, fine. I literally thought that'll be amazing for Isolation Nation that Steve kills me in a movie. That would be great. And the worst part of this whole prank, Steve, is that in preparation for this meeting, I had to watch all of Psycho Yoga Instructor. So that was
This is Steve. You have to show the footage.
yeah.
Well, but that's the fun part. I can do that whenever I want.
That's true. That's true. Maybe Top Tipper next month sees the footage. Maybe that's what it is.
So yeah, Top Tipper gets an NFT of the footage. So
By the way, am I not knowing Top Tipper sounds real dirty? What is that?
Same as Steve's sex tape. Same as Steve's sex tape.
What is Top Tipper? What does that mean?
Whoever tips the most gets a prize.
Oh, I was like, wow, you guys run a different live stream than I run.
Steve, this
All right.
reminds me when I was in college. We had this guy that was like super into sports, like too much of a dick about it, like just playing basketball on the court 3-on-3, like. So the guys in the dorm sent him a letter saying he was going to try out for an all-star intramural basketball team for our college. And we spent a whole day. We were all in it, but him running line drills. We were running around the fucking building. He was shooting layups. And then they waited 3 weeks and sent him a letter saying he didn't make it, which was hilarious. Now what I wanted us to do was say 5 of us were on the team and go to Indianapolis to a Pacers game, because there was the intramural team was going to play an IU intramural team at a Pacers game. I wanted to go to the game, make jerseys, and then at halftime have him run on the court and us just leave and have him get arrested. But they voted me down. We just told him he didn't make the team.
Well, I did. Jay and I talked about it. What I wanted to do was write you the worst sides for an audition of all time.
Yeah.
We're going to play around with the idea of, because you can do accents, and we were going to make you do horrific accents.
I would have been
Didn't
funny
you do it? You didn't take it far enough.
If the Psycho Game Show starter was all somehow about Ben somehow. He's like, I'll run for president one day. And you're like, wait, this isn't this movie? Or is this about me?
Steve, this is a really well, but I'm with Ben. You could have taken it.
I could have. I decided not to take it too far, but I thought what was fun was just how long it's been. Like, I thought
that's great. And what's great about this is Ben's never going to fucking trust any fucking audition he ever has again the rest of his life. So that's going to be great.
Bowers, what's really great about this is that you and Rachel are next.
Oh,
sure. Yeah.
We're about to ask, when are you getting these two suckers?
You haven't done anything for us though, right?
Not yet.
So now I'm just gonna be scared.
Can I? One of my long game pranks are.
Wait. Are the Bengals not really in the playoffs? Is this all a fucking joke? You motherfucker! If you've been in my house, fucking changing the feed of the Bengals games, and I watch the Super Bowl, and they're like, fuck you, Bowers, that was a whole Steve prank. I'm gonna lose my mind.
That would be amazing. It would be amazing. Steve, the long game pranks are the long con. Do you guys know who Brad Wallach is?
Yeah.
So Brad,
I only know his nipple work from
yeah. Okay, so I used to get a lot of free shit when I was on Chelsea. One of the things that I was like, as long as I'm TV, I'm getting as much free shit as I can.
You were the king of that.
I was the king of it, right?
Shoes.
So like, Brad comes to me. He goes, "I really like some Adidas. Can you call Adidas?" I'm like, "Fine, yeah, I know a guy from Adidas." So I call. I don't call, but I tell him I call. I go, "Yeah, I called, man, and they said they'd get back to me." So he checks back in with me a couple weeks later, and I go, "Let me call back." And I call him, and I don't call, but I tell him I call him, and I walk into his office. I go, "Hey, dude," and he goes, "Yeah." I go, "They're gonna pass." And I go, "They'd actually prefer that you didn't wear their shoes at all. Like, you don't fit their brand." I go that you don't fit their brand. He goes, "What?" I go, "Yeah, they actually would. They have like some Nikes your size that they'll send over. But they would prefer that you don't, because they said that he doesn't fit the brand." So this guy, he goes, "Fuck them." He goes, "Just for that." He showed up the next day with 3 new pairs of Adidas. He went out and bought some Stan Smith. He was like, "Fuck them." So every time he would buy Adidas, he would text me. He'd be like, "Fuck Adidas," right? I'm like, "Yeah, you're really showing them." So, dude, this went on for 5 years. 5 years.
God.
I finally, you guys know I did that show, Control Chaos. I had somebody on the show who was pretending to be Brad. I go, "Brad, do you want me to have someone from Adidas on so you can have it out with them once and for all?"
No.
Yes. Have someone on. And Ben, Brad is in on this shit, right? He's like, "Yeah, you have somebody on and you tell them I want to know why I am not Adidas." And he wore his brand new Stan Smith. And I hired a friend of mine who's an improv dude. He sat down and he was like, "Yeah, man." He was like, "Look at yourself. We have he's like, we have like Kanye," and he's like, "Look at you. You're like this 5'8" Jewish guy with red hair. You don't fit the brand."
The part is where it's not funny anymore.
If he was 6'4" and red hair, they'd love him. It's the 5'8" part. The short, they have a problem.
It was so. But every time I saw him with the shoes, I'd be like, "Good shoes." He'd be like, "Fuck them," right? I'm like, "Yeah, that's right."
Wait, so when did you tell him? When did you tell him?
On one of the live streams, the guy finally said, he goes, "I'm not from Adidas." I told him, I go, "Brad, I've been fucking with you for 5 years." He was like, "What?" He was like, "I've been buying all these shoes for nothing." I'm like, yeah, actually. He was like, "I don't even like Adidas anymore." I'm like, "Well, you've put a
I
lot
also
of money
love that Brad's revenge against Adidas was to give them money.
It's weird.
That's
how dumb people are. That's how dumb is that the scarcity and people not liking us makes us double down and want to have them like us more. It's weird.
By the way,
also
as Leedy just pointed out in the chat, and this is true, Leedy just said, "Ben, Brett and I have seen the footage of the audition, which they have, because it happened while we were on tour. And she recommended you don't try to get me back.
Yeah, Brett came over. He was like, "Let me talk to them," but then we didn't want to interrupt Josh, so that was Brett's message for you.
Why? What does Brett have to say about this?
He says, "Don't do it. Don't show the footage."
It was just a meet and greet. I was just telling them.
There's some pretty funny parts in it.
Ben,
Jay was excellent at pulling you along. He did a really good job.
And did you know you were being filmed?
I think he said he was filming so he could show it to his producing partners.
Yeah, it was a Zoom.
Ben hasn't been pulled along in a very long time, so I'm sure that's.
Hey Ben, can you give us a taste of what you did?
I can give them a hint of what he says.
Oh yeah.
Remember, all I will say is that he says some stuff about women.
Oh.
He doesn't say anything sexist. He just says some really incriminating stuff.
Incriminating. Uh-oh.
How's that better? I don't know what the fuck that means.
He talks about his.
No. It's not a lie. Just if he told us he'd go to jail. It's incriminating. He would go to jail for what he's done to women if we told him.
I talk about my 20s and 30s.
His 20s and 30s. Yes.
Well, let me tell you something. By the way, Ben's 20s and 30s are a bit of Hollywood folklore. I mean, I'm going to tell you, when I first went down to the Improv and you were running a show there that night, you were dating this girl who taught Jacob at a park in Studio City, who was just gorgeous. And I was like, I remember going, whoa. And I remember a friend saying to me, Ben Gleib gets more women than anyone you've ever met. And I was like, this is exactly what I said. That guy?
Well, God bless you, Josh. God bless you.
Yeah, listen, man. I mean, I wasn't looking at Brad Pitt. I was looking at Ben Gleib. You know,
dude, there's nothing better than making a room full of people do math. When you walk in with a woman and everybody's like, "How the fuck did that happen?" That's my favorite feeling in the world. Making everyone.
When you say do math, you mean how does 10 and 4 add together?
Yep. And, or how she take that much weight on top of her. I mean, there's a lot of math to do.
So, you know, in math, in Hollywood, the weight is usually $ plus inches or minus inches. Just depends. Like, that's where your scale goes like this. You know, the more dollars you have, the less inches you need. You know what I'm saying? That's kind of.
Sure. Yeah. I get it. You got to get.
Feel free and tell more stories about the beautiful girls I got, Josh. Huh?
You're welcome, dude. You're welcome.
Rachel.
You should have known, Steve, this was a fucking prank. Most specifically, when I did ask Bowers to bring it up to Jay and they hung out in Vegas, and Bowers says to me, he said, "Do you really think we could get Gleib to do it?" I should have known then that was bullshit.
That's what he said.
Nobody would be excited to have me in a movie.
But he said, "Do you think Ben would do a Lifetime movie?" And I said, "Yeah, I think he would." He's asked me 6 times, so I'm pretty sure he would.
The key to pranking someone is knowing what their weaknesses are, and that's why it worked.
I literally texted Bowers like 300 photos of me that had different potentially psycho vibes while hosting my game show. I was like, this one shows that I'm like, I can be normal but kind of kooky, and this one's more over the top.
I swear to God, he sent me so many. I'm like, do you want me to show all these to Jay Black at dinner? What are you talking about? It was so weird.
This is amazing. Steve, well done, dude.
Thank you.
Well
Thank
done.
you, Josh. I thought you would appreciate this one. You're the master pranker, and your Bachelor prank story is one of the best videos of all time.
Thank you.
And so I figured you would appreciate this one. And
here's the block of pictures he sent me over text.
Oh my God, that is amazing.
Yeah.
This is my favorite day I've ever had.
Oh. Al, you're gonna like it better than your turn.
Oh yeah.
Oh, bring it on, dude. I love getting pranked. Let's go. What are you gonna do?
Steve, I wonder if Kevin has just been a hired actor this whole time.
That's too much. No.
I'm just I'm just really sorry, mostly to Isolation Nation, because I had to step down from doing the show twice a week so I could prepare for Psycho Game Show instructor.
Wait, Rachel, he started as an actor, but then he fell in love.
There we go.
Oh wait, is Steve the one who offered $200,000 more to a house so you didn't get it? That'd be a good prank.
Steve just walked out and put in bigger bids on all the houses you tried to buy. That's how he got you. That's hilarious, Taylor. That is so funny.
Oh shit.
All of the Isolation Nation is crisis actors. Sorry, Bowers, you actually are not known by anybody. This is all been
No, exactly. This is all coming together now.
We had some comments come in. Josh, we've missed you. This was so funny.
I feel like this is my Make-A-Wish all of a sudden. All right.
Yeah, I listen, if a Make-A-Wish kid showed up in that jacket, they would kick him out. They'd be like, yeah, sorry, we're not granting
No, they would
wishes.
kick him out because they're like, we can't make the Bengals win.
Yeah.
We can score 1 touchdown for you, kid, but not 2. That's crazy. All right, Race, let's catch up.
We're trying to help sick kids, but we still have a modicum of taste we have to abide by.
Sarah Garcia Real said, Josh, here's for some dog food so your puppy doesn't have to eat your face.
Oh yeah, he was giving me he's hungry. So he was licking my
jeez.
face pretty good. Yo, this dog, man, we had a coyote following us today. Straight up, I looked behind me on the path and he was just walking. And I stopped and he stopped. He kind of stopped and sat like, what's going on? I'm like, what's going on with you? And he was like, not much, just kind of following you guys, seeing where you guys are going. Yeah, straight up, nope, big too.
Did he have any dynamite with him? That's when you know you're worried.
No, that's when you know. He had an anvil though. He had an anvil.
Okay.
Yeah.
What did you do? Did you just start running at some point, or?
Nah, man, I'm not scared of one coyote.
Mm-hmm.
Now, if there was a bunch of them, I'd be like, okay. But one of them is scout team. You know what I mean? I'm sure the group sent him out, was like, hey, go see what those two are doing. And he probably was walking along like, oh, they see me, so I'm going to come back now. And he turned around. I threw a rock at him. I turned around. But
I like the idea
pretty
that
big though, isn't he?
I put it on my Instagram. He's pretty big.
I do enjoy that you think that coyotes strictly adhere to military tactics.
Yeah. They do. But I'm assuming the one I saw meant that there was a couple more in the area. So we
him and his friends were just fighting. Maybe they made fun of him because of his Bengals coat, and he was storming off because he was mad. And he just
that's what it is. That's what it was. He's the guy they sent out. They were like, we need more Pedialyte for the vodka. Go out get some. And so he's the guy they sent out.
He's that guy.
Yeah,
he's
it was. The
he's
thing
the turtle
is,
of the coyotes.
Exactly.
Yeah, Josh lives in Vegas, so he's like, I'm not afraid of a coyote. A cougar, on the other hand, terrifying.
Yes, that could ruin my marriage. Anyway, Rachel, catching up.
Josh, Steph Andrews wants to know, this was from a while ago, but did you ever find out whose fingernails were in your hotel room drawer?
No, I did not. But I will tell you, I left them there for the next guy. I was like, well, if this worked on me, this is going to work on somebody else. Yeah, that was really, I will say I like weird shit. So I probably looked at it for longer than I should have. And I took a picture and zoomed in on them. It looked like it was from a couple different people. Like some people saw it and they're like, well, I'll leave mine here too. So it looked like they were, and I'm assuming
so it's like those bike locks in France, but for toenails in your hotel.
That's right. And I'm assuming the people who clean up the room are like, I do not get enough for that. So I'm gonna go ahead and leave these in the drawer. But yeah, there was like 8 or 9 of them when I was there.
Nice.
Ugh, that's disgusting.
Yeah.
Technic said, Josh, you're forever the guy who caught his son.
Yes, that's right.
And then just a bunch of other random generals, and we can talk about the passes. So I don't know, Josh, if you wanted to stick around or if you want to head out.
Well,
plug your stuff, Josh, and then we'll let you bounce.
Plug your stuff.
First of all, I'm doing a podcast with my son, the one just mentioned, called Hey Man, and it's he and I will tell you, look, you don't have to have a kid to get this.
How old is he?
He's 24.
Okay.
He and I, look, we talk about regular stuff, but he also has taken up admitting things to me. Like he admitted last podcast, he was like, I used to take your car for a joyride. I'm like, what? And I was like, when I was out of town, he was like, no, when you were sleeping. I was like, what? So he admits things. But
It's, well, it's
also,
good when your
man,
dad smokes a lot of weed. You can steal his car. And
he
doesn't
knows I'm
notice.
asleep.
That's
Yeah,
nice.
yeah.
Yeah, that's nice.
But we have a pretty special relationship, he and I, and so it's a really fun podcast. The other thing, this Thursday, I'm doing a live stream. It's for my album release. My album gets released on iTunes on Friday, but it's a live stream album release. You can find the link on my socials. I'll be doing some new stand-up. Jacob will be joining me, a lot of stuff. So just come. It's a good time. But we'll be doing that album release party on Thursday night at 6 p.m. Pacific.
And also, I heard your episode with Jacob on the Honeydew, and it was such a good episode. So everybody listen to the Honeydew with Josh and Jacob.
Yeah, or you could just listen to our podcast.
That's
Hey,
true.
man. Yeah.
Of course,
You don't have
but-
to. Yeah. but yeah, man, that is really what I'm having the most fun with, and most importantly, and you guys are comics, so you know this. I've never felt better on stage. All the wheels are on the tracks right now. Like, I feel so good. Steve, man, I'm doing a story right now that's 22 minutes that I would tell you is the best story I've ever told in my life. And the last couple of weeks when I've been telling it, I've actually left stage thinking, I can't believe that's where this is right now. Like, this is the first thing I can remember in a long time where I'm so fucking proud of where this story is. So out on the road to comedianjoshwolf.com for tickets, but things feel good, man. And I just want to say to the three of you guys, I love where you've grown this to. I love the interaction that you guys have with each other. This is unique. There's nothing else like this. This type of interaction is the stuff that we see on shows that we all love. Stern, Chelsea, Rogan, where it's like a dysfunctional family and you guys can say anything to each other, but that's why we love it. So I'm telling you guys, this is gold. This is watch it. I had so much fun watching the interview before me. I forgot I was coming on.
Gosh, first of all,
if it makes you feel any better, we all forgot also.
Two things. One, Josh, it's been so long since you've been on the show. The last time you were on the show, Rachel wasn't a co-host. She is now. So it's now the four of us.
She queefed her way to the top.
She did.
But also, let me just say this. You know, I've toured with Josh, and I think I know which 22-minute story you're talking about, and the reason it's so incredible that it's so good now is it was shit when you started telling it. It was
Tell me about it.
No, it actually that is an amazing thing though, that there are so many comics who are like, oh, you know, I got this new 5-minute bit I'm working on, and Josh is just like, yeah, I got this new 22-minute story. It's like incredible, because that's what makes you such a good storyteller, that it's so detailed and so gripping that like half the people are listening because it's traditional stand-up comic and they're laughing, and half the people really want to find out what's going to happen next, which is like a very rare mix that people have. Usually it's one or the other. And so to have both is incredible.
Well, I appreciate it, man. And I love you guys, love what you do. And I appreciate you having me on. And
absolutely.
Yeah.
One last question as a going away. Tam Brown said, has Jacob confessed yet to ordering the porn, or is he still blaming his grandparents?
He's still blaming my parents. And I will tell you, I asked my dad, I go, look, dude, you just got to tell me so I have peace of mind once and for all. Who ordered the porn? And he said to me, Jacob hasn't said anything? And I said, no. And he goes, well, then I'm not gonna. I was like, what the fuck?
Motherfuckers watch it together. Your dad and your son watched the porn together, Josh. That's the only explanation I can come up with. That's crazy.
I mean, I can't. They're both dragging me so hard. I appreciate it. I really do. But it's torturous. It's torturous.
Awesome.
But thank you, guys.
Thanks
I
for coming
appreciate you
on,
having
Josh.
me. All right.
Appreciate it, bro.
Thanks, Josh.
Later, guys.
Have a good night.
Bye.
All right, guys. So update on the passes. Oh, so fun. So we
By the
also
way, nice work,
had-
Steve. Nice work on the prank. I gotta give you one more, like, holy shit.
Oh my God.
Thank you.
That was fucking.
And I feel like Bowers, I feel like our pranks are already in the works, and I'm just trying to rack my brain as to what has happened with Steve, or like what could
but
it
the
be?
good part is, Rachel, you're not gonna figure it out.
Of course I'm not.
Just take it, Rachel, and just.
That meeting went so well.
Ben, I was
The
there,
end
and
of
it
the
didn't.
meeting. The end of the meeting, he goes, look, I'm on board. I'm on board. I just need to run this by my producing partners, but I think they're gonna be game for this. This sounds great. We'll get you sides to read.
And Ben heard
You were
sides.
there
I
live?
love sides. Can I get mashed potatoes and
live?
coleslaw? Can I get double coleslaw?
By the way, Ben, I would agree that did go well, but not in the way.
Is my prank that I don't have a client now? Is JB not my client? Did you?
I'm enjoying that you're racking your brains trying to figure it out. That's better than what I planned.
I'm not worried about it. Come after me. It'll be fun or it won't, but I'll be fine. As long as I don't have to drink another scorpion sauce, I'll be good. What are we coming in, Rach?
All right, so Alejandra gets a pass. Gray Gorman gifted one to Kurt. Kim Stewart has one. She said, and she also said, I'm so excited to see that Leedy will be at the April Des Moines show. Ticket purchased. So right now we're at 15 passes.
So there's one left.
One left.
So there's one left on the artist pass. So here's
one left total.
Oh, total. Okay.
So yeah, the top.
But if they
9,
jump over all the other tips, it'll be an artist pass.
Yeah,
Gotcha.
yeah. The top 9 tippers get the artist passes.
Perfect. And so other tips, Wendy said, Lilith, I'll be at the Fargo show. I'm planning on introducing them to some chippers. Don't worry, Steve, they're store bought.
Nice.
I hope that's not a euphemism.
Just some random beavers.
And then
Steve likes rescue chippers. He doesn't buy them. That'd be inhumane.
It's
Fun said, hey to my buddy Tacky Technics and the rest of the YouTube loonies.
Nice.
Brad Clark sent in $24.99 and has pre-ordered Bauer's whiskey diet book.
Nice.
Pre-ordered. You can have it now.
Anna D, thanks guys. This has been a great show. Front row Steve threw in an extra $100, a little bit more to ensure that Gleib's set list gets personalized to front row Steve and Lady Val. Back off, kitties. I have significant disposable income, no debt, no kids. You can't win. Wow.
And by the way, all your sealed action figures speak to that completely. Yes, for sure. That is disposable income on a shelf behind you for sure.
I love that. And then brave little Spidey. I don't know. I'll come back to that one.
Okay.
And then we said the Lilith one. Okay. I think we're ready for the game.
All right. Let's play the game.
These are bad names for Steve's tour.
The game today is what are the worst names that Steve could name his
If
tour?
I knew about this goddamn prank, I would have written some entries.
Still have time. You have plenty of time.
I don't know if you know this, Ben, but it's a better prank if you don't know it's a prank.
Yeah, that's true. That's true. If we just said, hey, this whole Lifetime thing's a prank, then you may have gone at, I mean, you still would have auditioned, but it wouldn't have been with as much gusto, I'm sure.
I don't know if you guys know this. I was just phrasing it that way for the joke structure.
Oh, fair.
Maybe I'll make a highlight reel of the footage.
That'd be cool.
Okay, so here are the some unpaid entries that I really liked. I liked Grimbeard's Let's Turn Every State Red.
Oh my God.
Very clever.
That is funny.
And then Brett Steinbuck's Do It for the Fans tour.
Oh my God. That's LaBelle's new tour.
Well, it's the same tour he's been doing the whole time, but yeah.
All right. So Stephen Val, you are up first. Go ahead.
We've got a bunch. We're going to send you some extra money for whatever we come out of.
No worries.
The first one for Steve's tour, we'd like to call it Earl.
Earl.
The second one would be Stay Away From My Nan tour. The third one would be the Dr. Heckle and Mr. Snide tour.
Oh, I like that.
Actually pretty good.
And this is Val's favorite. I don't know why. The free pap smear with every ticket tour.
Those are so good. All right, Anna Banana.
So I have Now Bury Your Dead.
Oh my God.
Oh.
Since You Aren't Dead Yet.
Really good.
Who is up next? I lost track. Sean.
All right, so I have two. The first is Sean Ehrlich is Awesome Tour. Anyone can use that if Steve chooses not to. And the second is Carrot Top's Understudy Tour.
Oh. Zara.
Savage. Okay, I've super chatted for a third. Number one, the Mature Tour, Comedian Destroys Nans.
Oh my God.
Second one, here's some math. Around the world in 80 inches. It's compound dick over time. That's how that works. And my personal favorite, Steve Hofstetter presents Thanks for Insurrecting Me.
Oh my God. By the way, I really did have a tour years ago called the Immature Tour.
Of course you did.
Aranka.
I have only one. My struggle.
Oh my God.
Shannon.
I have audience participation encouraged. PETA fundraiser.
Abby.
I have super spreader events. And heckles and freckles.
That's pretty good.
Philip and Alondra. Philip, can you please give us the game entries?
I have Happy Commie Friends Tour.
Nice.
And The Weakest Link, Heckler Edition.
Nice.
Megan.
All right, I have Delivering the Funny, sponsored by Air Canada.
Nice. Good.
Tam.
Those jokes never go anywhere.
They're always in Toronto.
Well, I had to take off mine comp thanks to Aranka. This one's
What a
for
great out of
Lee.
context sentence to say to a German person.
I have one for Leedy. It's Blow Up the Bus Tour.
Nice.
Then there's the Why the Fuck Am I Still Doing This Tour. Not Another Steve Lifetime Movie Tour. For Whoever Is Left on Earth Tour.
Nice.
And Sorbo and Swanson and Steve's Other Favorite Things Tour.
Steph.
I have The Ginger Goes Down Under Tour. And this is a very Australian reference, the Gold Coin Tour. Because Steve loves $2 gold coins. And Lady, you're hiding in the back corner of the shed.
Keep bleeding. Maybe get out of the goddamn shed.
Y'all really are upside down.
In Australia, the pictures go the other direction too. It's weird. What's up?
Okay, so I have the Welcome to Whomever's Left.
Nice.
This is kind of a hint back to some of the clips. Is the I Like Peanut Butter. Do you swim? Tour.
Nice.
Nice.
Wendy.
All right, I have no sound. More dark, less stuff. The Still Working on It tour.
That is what it is right now.
I know. Have Hoffus will travel.
Nice.
And the Leedy tour featuring Steve Hofstetter.
I like that.
Angles.
Angle.
Actually, I'm sorry. Mine were already used.
Okay.
No worries.
That's all right. No problem.
It's okay. Does anybody else have any entries? Wave at me. Okay, so here are the rest of them. We have Gus Walsh, a comedy hen, and a budget chicken. Of course. Always. Gus Walsh, dick jewelry. Jack, why did you bring out your dead 2 years ago and leave them there? Put them back. Martha Rhodes, if Steve performed on the Caribbean island of Saba, it would be Steve Hofstetter's Saba tour.
Nice.
Nice.
Ryan Axe, kick a ginger tour.
Oh my god.
I think we found it. We found it.
I believe that was my first one, just metaphorically.
Cynthia, not for your nan.
Nice.
Stephen Hirsch, the Zara chopped up my dick, made it into a bracelet, and Ben kissed it tour.
I don't like that one. I don't like that one at all.
Long game pranks really are the best.
Adler, the Urkel brought out the dead tour.
Okay.
AKA the Did I Do That?
Nice.
He also had Better Red Than Dead tour.
Nice.
Pretty good.
And his last entry was I'm Jew and you can too. His entries. Cynthia, heckler convention.
Nice.
Marielle, Friends of Lauren Bobbitt comedy show.
I assume
Did I
that's
say
Bobert,
Bobbitt or
right?
Bobbert?
Bobert.
Yeah, Lauren Boebert, not Lorraine Bobbitt. They're different. It's
Where my head goes to.
I mean,
wait, is the lady who's the senator the girl who cut that guy's dick off? Is that the same person? Is that what's happening?
no, but both of them had husbands who took their dicks out when they shouldn't have.
Nice.
There you go. Watson, make America giggle again.
Oh, nice. Ooh, I could do red hats.
Sarah Garcia Real, gingerbread man, not my gumdrop buttons.
Gingerbread man.
The weirdo Holland, Michigan everywhere tour.
Oh my god. I think you just gave Leedy PTSD.
He is real.
Steve, I'm not coming on tour next time. I don't need to spring this.
Tam Brown, don't get mad, get even. Fuck it, get mad too tour.
Nice.
Kim Stewart, the bicycle tour. All jokes performed while riding around the venue. Clarence Isaacs Jr., public pessimist tour.
Nice.
He also had Rise of the Hecklers tour. Proud Ginger tour. Kim Stewart, Love Air Canada tour.
Sponsored by WestJet.
Dizzy by Nature, I tore my sleeves off tour.
The tour.
Oh, I tore my sleeves off. Athletic Rehabilitation Therapy Massage, the Drawn Out tour with Lady Corbin.
That's pretty good.
I think that's all of. Let me just make sure. Yep, that's all of them.
Some of these were legit good tour names.
They're actually really good. All
right. I liked a bunch of those. I like to Stay Away from My Nan from Stephen Val. Now Bury Your Dead. Comedian Destroys Nan from Zara. Let's see. But let's see. I liked Make American Giggle Again. I like more dark, less stuff. But I got to give it to audience participation and courage from Shannon. I thought that was funny. Ben, what was your favorite?
I loved the Leedy tour. I loved the Heckler's Welcome, but I also give it to audience participation and courage.
There was a last minute one came from Tam. I have no dignity left tour.
I just show the
Steve, I'll let you
cartoon of me in the
choose
pink
last.
shirt.
I'll let you go last. So the Now Bury Your Dead, Mine Struggle. I loved the Kick a Ginger, really spoke to me.
Push it, Rachel.
But I really liked more dark, less stuff from Wendy. That's my vote.
All right, it is. There were so many good ones. This was so much fun to do. I cannot not choose my struggle. The idea of me doing a tour called My Struggle is so fucking horrible. Perfectly horrible. But that means the winner is the Audience Participation Encouraged Tour. Nicely done.
Nice.
No Shannon, right?
Yep. You guys have it?
Shannon, you are the champion of SDSC's Mega Monthly. Well done.
And what Night King do we want to do for next Mega Monthly? Let's do a Mega Monthly.
But also, I did write some just to.
Yeah, I got some too. I got a couple.
Okay, great.
But let's do do we have a Night King? What do we want to do the Night King for next month?
Can we do Bad Names for Bowers' tour?
Sure. So I don't tour, that'd be good. Yeah. There you go.
Maybe for his not book. Titles for his not book.
Title of my not book.
Oh, that's actually a good one. I like that. Titles for your
titles of
not
my
book.
fake book is the next Mega Monthly. So put Mega Night King. Mega Night King.
Mega Night King.
Mega Night King, and it's titles of my fake book. Ben, how many you got? I just got 2.
Like 8.
Right, you got any? Steve, you got any?
No, I'm just gonna show the video.
All right, I'll do my 2, and then you can bring something. I only have 2. These are terrible tour names for Steve, right? Terrible tour names for Steve?
Yes.
I have, turns out the cable guy had some points. And Live with Ben Gleib. Okay, Ben, what do you got?
I've got just some light ribbing here. The Vindictive Prick Tour. I've got the Overcompensating Tour. The doctor said there wasn't enough to Chopstetter Tour. The Algorithm Beating Across America Tour. Lady Corbin Tour featuring Brett Druck, Jared Bernstein, introducing Saint Eve Sadstetter. The Jokes, Tokes, and Lots of Coke Finally Enjoying Touring Tour. The Reacting in Proportion for Once to Mild Things Whispered by the Audience Tour. And finally, the Psycho SDSC Host Tour.
I do want to point out, Ben, you make a really good point. The idea that you guys know me as someone who, like, when someone says something at a little bit of a volume, I'm like, what the fuck are you doing? And yet you decided to prank me on a public show and think I wasn't going to react.
Yep.
If I'm being honest, Steve, this was all Greg Murphy's idea. He sent us the trophies. He sent us the script.
You don't know how many
This is the
times.
front row committee. We just went along with it because we thought it'd be fun.
You don't know how many times Greg messaged me saying, I'm so sorry. We didn't mean for it to go that way. It wasn't my idea. It's okay.
And I just want to point out that when it was proposed and everybody else was on board, I'm the lone voice that said, I don't know if Steve's going to appreciate this. And I was convinced to go along with it. I'm the first.
That is true.
Ben said, I'm afraid if we prank Steve, he'll get us back in a really,
I did not say that.
humiliating way. And I don't want to have to go through that. That's what he said. But we did have to
Also,
we did have to talk Ben into it, which is funny. So
I also would like to say, though, that because there were a lot of people involved in it, I get that. And there might be people here sitting wondering, is he also coming after me? And I just wanted to point that out.
All
right, I've got some generals. There was a song that was sent in.
Yeah, and I am not coming after anyone who's not a host. Like, I do understand that some of you guys were
So
having a
Taylor's
good
safe.
time.
You're saying Taylor's safe or is
No,
Taylor-
I'm convinced he's the reason I can't find Code Red Mountain Dew anywhere.
Supply chain, huh?
Yeah. Yeah, we're saving this for the red guy.
Okay, I've got to sing a song. This is from Brave Little Spidey. Oh, the social club is the club for me. I love to heckle at Big Steve, and he'll never, ever, ever let it go whatsoever because Steve will just heckle right back at me. Oh,
You did great. You did great. Good
that
singing.
was not bad, right?
It wasn't terrible. I mean, it didn't sound like a song, but it didn't sound terrible.
Okay, and then let's catch up on some generals. So Ron Gould, Bowers, and Rachel start every conversation from now on with Steve told me about the prank. We could try. Tam trying to, so Tam sent in $100, trying to crush hopes and dreams. Mwahaha. I have the eyes for it today.
Oh, shit.
But she wasn't quite there. So Steve and Val, you're still in the lead by like about a little over $100. So
nice.
You're okay. Kim Stewart, the shotgun Ben's face almost made me sad for him, but the prank was just too damn good.
My whole life will now be trying to make this movie a reality.
That is true. That is true.
And I'll make it happen, believe me.
Yeah, we're going to film it in your backyard for sure. And I'm going to drown in a pool. I'm pretty sure. That's my character, not my actual stuff.
Brad Clarkson and more monies.
Nice.
Lori Bluffington, it's my birthday today, and what a good present to see you all together again. Thanks for the
happy
show.
Birthday.
Happy birthday, Lori.
Nice.
And then the last pass, Front Row Steve is he got the last one, and he's gifting to Steph Andrews. So it's awesome. Thank you so much.
Who are the? Do you know who the 9 are right now?
So no, I don't. That's gonna take a while to calculate. So
All right.
yeah.
Cool. So
But I'll post it on the Facebook group and stuff.
Cool. Are we ready for plugs and stuff? Are we done? What are we doing?
Yeah. I think so.
Well, you can find me at Bowers Comedy as always. That's just an ad for my Patreon. So go to patreon.com/Bowers Comedy and come join the fun over there. Tomorrow night, Origin Stories, where hopefully have Josh Wolf. We haven't asked him yet, but we're going to call him after this show and ask him if he wants to do it. So, Steve, you can text me Josh Wolf's phone number. That'd be cool. So hopefully we get Josh tomorrow. If not, we'll find somebody else, but it's going to be fun. Origin Stories, 5 o'clock. Check that out. We've got us with Jody tomorrow on the Wednesday show, and then Fucking Fan Friday on Friday. So come check
with Raju Bandar.
Radu Bandar is our guest host on Friday, and then I'm in Indiana Friday and Saturday. Friday in North Vernon, Indiana, and Saturday in Marion, Indiana. The links to both ticket sales are on my Facebook, so go check that out. Ben, what you got coming up?
I have this coming Saturday. I'm sorry to announce, but with a twist. Greg Proops just told me he can't again do G-Thing this Saturday. He's got family things he has to take care of. So I'm going to make it a Gleib Off the Top. So we'll offer refunds if anybody doesn't want to go to Gleib Off the Top this Saturday, or you can come there instead. So we'll at least give you some good entertainment, and it'll probably be double as long. So you'll get the same amount of comedy as two people doing a shorter show. And to check out my Patreon, patreon.com/Ben Gleib. I still have another big announcement soon. Thank you so much for all of you who came to Philly. You guys are amazing. I'll keep you updated on the editing and if I'm choosing a name or what name I'm going to choose for it. And Gleib Off the Top every Saturday in February as well. We're going to be doing it. So it's going to be a ton of fun. So check that out. Stand by. It's going to be good. Current co-mayors are Lindsey Brown and Justine Marino. So our first ever co-mayors. So it's going to be good. Thank you guys.
Right, you gaming?
Yeah, just a couple of things. So we've got Kristen Key tomorrow, and we also have the new SCAF person, Ronnie Fleming.
Yep.
That's the name, right? So
Yep.
we've got Ronnie on tomorrow's show. And then we do have our VIP Patreon hang on Thursday, and we will be doing Louis Doodles right after our plugs. So
there you go. Steve.
Well, I am very excited to say that Long John is officially getting his visa.
Fuck yes!
So
Fuck yes!
He is allegedly receiving his visa on Friday. They
He
approved
finally
him
got his
for
credit
it.
score up to 710. So we've been trying to work on that this whole time. He finally has a visa. We're good. Okay.
Oh,
Visa,
okay.
yeah.
Yes. And you know what? I'll make your prank worse for that. And so I'm very excited. So he's gonna be able to be here, and once he gets here, we're putting together a show for him to do at Nowhere, so that he could do like a nice fundraiser thing, because he'll need money in the States.
Yeah, I think it makes a ton of sense that we had him come all the way here so we could do a virtual show. This is perfect.
Well, internet in Zimbabwe isn't exactly great, so.
Well, he hasn't been. So we tried to book him also, so you guys know, and he doesn't he can't do our show anymore until he's in the States because he is back in Zimbabwe. So.
Yeah, he doesn't have enough internet for streaming. But that said, a whole bunch of shows coming up. I've added a ton to my website. I'm going to be adding more Coming up soon, Fargo and Sioux Falls, and then 2 weeks in Australia, Melbourne, Sydney, and Brisbane already announced, working on a couple other cities. Huge tour starting March 30th that Leedy is going to join me with, as well as, depending on the leg of the tour, Brett, Jarrett, Rob, Rivers, and trying to get some more people in there. And so go get tickets on my website.
Very cool. All right. Well, I think it's time for the song, Ben. Here we go.
It's Leedy Doodle time. It's Leedy Doodle time. It's time for doodles drawn by Leedy Corbin time.
That was perfect timing. That was beautiful. All right. First up, I have SDSC biology.
I'm really enjoying that Ben's pointer is barely past his hand.
Could have just pointed, couldn't he?
This is great.
Yes.
Tiny hands work for me.
Then I have, oh God, the overnight game inspired someone. That's Abby.
Oh, poor Abby. They put it in the wrong direction first. You got to put it in the lead first, according to Tam Brown.
That's pineapple bottom jeans.
Or pineapple.
Nice.
Wow. Then I've
What you have
got,
to do to get it out of there? Pineapple.
then I've got hide your nan.
Mothers lock up your mothers.
Mothers look up your mothers. Is so
That's a Steve joke from Indianapolis. One of my favorite jokes of all time.
That's funny.
This also looks like he just loves thin Mediterranean bread.
That's 2 A's.
Yeah.
Okay, well, you know, listen, that's a good
Oh,
point.
non. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Oh.
Alrighty.
I'll be the unfunny one and just state facts. Don't worry.
Took us all a second. Then I have Dan's car wrap. Then I have lowercase b belly.
High school to a T.
Then I have Kitchen Genocide Battle Royale. New on Then I have Queen Rachel.
Oh, Jesus Christ.
I don't know if you know. Queefs don't come out of your head, though, Leeds. I don't know if you know where queefs come from. But
Did you want me to put a vagina on her head? I
I
didn't
just wanted to make sure you knew they came out of the vagina. That's all I was checking. I was just checking your knowledge of what queef.
Well, if any of you, never mind. I'm not going to share that. Otherwise, that will follow me in this round. All right. Next, I have money inches. I've got, last but not least, Steve. We need to have a chat about your new look. What's wrong?
Oh my God.
I love he's got his little glasses on the armband. His little glasses on the armband is hilarious. That's the SS.
Made my logo on the arm.
The SH wants to have a word with you.
And that is it from me.
Excuse me, sorry, that was just mine cough. I apologize.
God.
Corbin.com. You can buy all these prints and check out Leedy's Patreon / Leedy Corbin and at Leedy Corbin on Instagram.
Thank
And
you.
Leeds, do you have anything else you want to plug?
Yeah, I'm also on Twitch. I'm streaming every Tuesday at right after Is This Anything, which tends to be about 2:30ish to 2 East time. And then also Wednesday at 1:30 East time. It'll be tomorrow. So come along. My Twitch is twitch.tv/LeedyArt. And then the most recent Masterpiece AF is out.
Yes.
So you can get the Gary Shandling Frida Kahlo on Steve's website.
Nice.
Nice.
Well, now does that last picture get her on the prank list, Steve? Is she getting pranked now, or does she get free reign? Because
Leedy's fine. She didn't do anything.
Okay, fair. Fair.
So glad I got to sit back and watch.
All right, Rachel, anything catch us up on before we get out of here?
Let's see. No, I don't think so. I think we're good.
Oh, I have one more plug. Taylor is streaming.
Oh,
after
yes.
this.
Mm-hmm. A half hour.
Very cool. Very cool. All right. Well, we say goodbye, right? So see you,
we're-
Lise. Hope you
yeah.
had fun.
Full screen.
There you go.
Everyone
Yeah,
just
if
won
we're,
the,
Wait.
Who won top tipper? Do we know that?
Yeah, it was Stephen Val.
Stephen
Val won.
Val. Nice work.
And then who got second place?
Second place was Tam.
All right. Well, y'all know your prizes for that. Congratulations. Thank you so much for your support. You guys are amazing. Keep this engine running. And cool.
And
Thank you.
the next big monthly show is February 22nd. It is 2/22/22.
Yep. And we had Desmond Tutu booked, but he died, so it's sad. We were ready. I had
So
a contact with him.
So instead, we booked somebody who's known for 2 famous television shows. She's been on both The Office and Newsroom. It's Kellen Coleman. And we booked the only comedians that come in twos for the 2/22/22 show, the Sklar Brothers, as well.
Hey, there you go.
I'm so excited.
Yeah. I tried to get 2 Chainz too, but he wouldn't respond to my emails. All right.
All right, video front row. It was good to see you guys.
I do
Love you
enjoy the
guys.
idea that it's a surprise that 2 Chainz is not conscientious about email replies.
Well, you know, I got an auto reply that said he'd get back to me soon, and then he didn't get back to me soon.
He limits himself to 2 email chains.
Oh God.
I got 2 text chains. Okay. All right. Well, so we're caught up, right?
Yeah. So everybody, I'll see you tomorrow. So
Very cool.
good to see you guys. Bye.
Yeah, Mega Monthlies are fun, man. What a good time. This was awesome. Great time.
Laquifa. Is that the prank? Is that it?
I'm not gonna follow that. See you guys. Hi, Queen Laquifa.
I will say that the key to a prank is people can't see them coming. Otherwise, it won't work. Which is why Bowers and Rachel, you can sleep well tonight. It ain't happening anytime soon, but it will happen.
So I guess if that's the key, then Carmel's been pranking me for the last 2 years. I have had so much fun being with you guys again, and I had an audition that I was supposed to do before this show to be in several commercials with Kevin Hart, and I got a 5 o'clock extension, and it's now past 5 o'clock, so I'm not sure if you guys intentionally kept the show long, or if this audition's even real at all. This is all a fucking game. All a fucking game. I'm gonna go do an audition that's probably fake. So thank you guys. Being with you. Relax me more than I normally am for auditions. Good night. We'll see you next time.
What movie are you gonna be in?